All right, and there we go. We're all set. With that being said, hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at SpeedGaming for the continuation of Week 4 of our Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Mentor and Mentee Tournament. My name is Mary, and I'll be your host for today, and I'm joined by the wonderful Steve. How are you today, Steve?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, and I can't complain at all. It's a beautiful Monday. Nope, it's not Monday. Today's Tuesday. Tuesday evening. We're sitting here in a commentary booth. We finally got our fridge fixed. And we're also joined by the lovely Op82 on our tracking team. So this booth is full of possibilities. Speaking of possibilities, let's go and get down to the race as this countdown is just sure to start momentarily. So, in the left corner, we have SoaringWyvern with BashPrime as their mentor. And in the right corner, we have wordsayer with BajaBlood as their mentor. Now, Steve, as another tournament mentee yourself, what can you tell us about what we can expect so far?
Well, right about now, it's definitely your mentors are definitely somebody helping you out here. They're going to get you through in logic. They're going to get you all the hints you could want and hope. But right about now, Randovania has been Randovania, so therefore expect pain along with help.
Pain, that's a great way to describe these seeds. But thankfully, we do not have a Reed Whaley seed, so we're not expecting anything terribly cursed, hopefully. To preface, we have Schwartz Gandhi as the organizer today, with a movement system found in Portal Access A. Well, that's some interesting information to have right away. As far as settings go for this tournament, we're running the standard Echoes standard settings. We'll be starting in Great Temple with Violet Translator. This gets us a little bit of quality of life. Henceforth, we get Temple Grounds hints immediately, and access into Aegon Waste without having to do any prerequisites. But first things first, before we can do anything in Temple Grounds, we have to go through the Dark Alpha Splinter, or as we commonly call him, Albert the Alpha Splinter. Well, immediately starting off, our runners are looking, hopefully trying to find some sort of missiles, maybe a screw attack and space jump combo. Missiles especially would be great, but bombs would be nice, but we're really looking for logical access to enter Aegon Waste.
Absolutely. Same time with that movement system. Those could be the space jumps. That could be screws. That could be grappling for all we know. It's interesting.
Yes, it is, my friend. Now, I do want to point out for those in chat, yeah, Op82, our lovely tracker for this evening, they've posted below a Google document that will take you to our tracking document. That tracking form will be updated continuously throughout the duration of this race and will hold information related to item locations, translator hints, SDK knowledge, etc. Any and all, most questions can be answered through that document itself. But now that Albert the Alpha Splinter has been released, speaking of movement system, Steve, how about you have a screw attack here?
Screw attack before Nikes, that makes life a little interesting.
Yes, it does, but thankfully, it is entirely logical. With these beginner trick settings, Z attack with screw attack on Z axis is completely plausible, where we use screw attacks. We use a screw attack cancel to gain a little bit of extra height, and that allows us to climb Aegon Waste through mining plazas left side instead of taking the right path. So it's very well that movement system could be space jump and portal access, and we need to use that screw attack Z access to get there. Did I just say screw attack was on portal access even though we have it? I meant space jump. Huh. And we have what looks to be a missile expansion on Temple Assembly site. Well, that missile expansion will be great, and Wordslayer just barely triggering the cutscene to bypass those little floating inglets. As unfortunately, those things do a tremendous amount of damage.
Seen many a race lost at not getting out of their way.
Yeah, I've died a handful of times myself due to those ink storms. Oh, I'm incorrect. That's not a missile. That's Amber Translator. So Amber Translator before entering Aegon Wastes. So these runners are definitely going to want to pick that up. As with Amber Translator, that gets us our Amber hints. More knowledge is always useful. And it also gets us Sand Catch without having to do any unnecessary backtracking. So Wordslayer pulled off a wonderful Screw Attack cancel. By using Screw Attack and then canceling it at the peak, we're able to get just a bit of extra height to clip onto this pedestal. And speaking of clippings, Wyvern pulled off an amazing task jump using a slope jump, with a Curse Lake having a beam-related upgrade. Wouldn't you love to see a super missile on a Curse Lake today, Steve?
Don't tempt, Rando. 8.9's been ugly lately.
All right, I won't comment that, but oh no. Well, there's a suit right away. That's not good to see.
Dark world, here we come. That's what that means.
Yeah, I'm immediately scared for playing a Dark Warship. And that violet hint right here on the Aegon elevator told us where our Hive Temple keys are located. But thankfully, the Hive keys can be skipped in at least 3 to 4 different ways minimum. But as we enter Aegon Waste for the first time, what are our runners trying to hope for, Steve?
When we enter Aegon Wastes, we're typically trying to go in the general direction the game is usually set up for us. The original games got us going to Aegon first, no matter what. But with a couple of things, and with the randomizer granting us potential access, i.e. the Screw Attack being here, well, Wordsayer is definitely trying to get into a position to look at the item sitting here in Mining Plaza. Which, for those who don't know, is a bear to get, and we'll see what the item is, and we'll find out. Are we in for trash, or are we in for jet?
Yeah, speaking of trash, with BashPrime as a mentor in this tournament, I don't want to curse it, but I am sort of hoping for a BashPrime special, where we have a Sky Temple key on Mining Plaza. But speaking of required tech, we do have some beginner tricks in logic, and one of them is Screw Attack at Z-axis. So what both runners are attempting to perform here, we're using Screw Attack to gain a little bit of extra momentum when we cancel it. And if we cancel it at the right time, we get a bit of that extra height, which in turn allows us to progress forward. With knowledge of the power bombs are here in Aegon Wastes. That's good information to have. Oh, but it looks like Wordsayer's going for a backup method. Alright, so now Wordsayer's going to attempt to get this gap with Screw Attack. Can we get a first try? Oh, so close.
Down.
Yep, we're going down. To the bottom of the desert.
Forgive me. I've got some children that need to go back to bed. Give me a minute or two.
Oh, you're absolutely fine, my friend. No worries. All right, as we progress forward, we're now in Portal Access A, and we do find that, yes, we needed to do that Screw Attack hullabaloo to get our space jump here on Portal Access. And yes, KR, I see you in chat. Yes, this is a boo seed already. That's we're already clipped. That's interesting. Bash's fault. Yes, Coiler. It's always Bash's fault. Mining Station A. Quadraxis has a dark ammo. Well, we know Quadraxis is half defeated with, oh, hello, Morph Ball bombs on Sand Cache. Alright, so bombs are pretty free for us today. Unfortunately, we still don't have missiles, so we can't progress into Aegon Temple. But due to bombs, we do have Dark World access, so we could go for the Jump Guardian loop right away. By the way, speaking of missiles, this is extremely out of logic, but Wyvern pulled off a great standable with the Hive Wasp to get a missile expansion early. Now, normally to get Mining Station A, we would need power bombs, space jump, and bombs. Or not space jump, spider ball. My apologies. Unfortunately, we're still missing spider ball and power bombs. So, what Wyvern did was a great standable by reloading Mining Station A without going to Aegon Temple. This allows us to spawn the hive nests. And due to the hive nest having collision, we can do a space jump on top of one, then jump up onto the rock behind it, which has a little bit of standable collision. We can use that to get higher of this room, and then just jump towards the missile expansion. And you see Wordsayer is just about to attempt it as well. While Wyvern attempts to get Bomb Guardian. Can we get a one-cycle Bomb Guardian? Not a one-cycle, a two-cycle. We can't one-cycle Bomb Guardian as we have no power bombs. Oh, not quite. Just missed the two-cycle.
Yeah, not enough damage on the first cycle, so that one little lemon popped it on the second round. Nope.
Bomb Guardian is not being nice today. And once again, confirmation, having bombs on Sand Cache.
Keep that charge beam on, get those reds. Soaring. Okay, what do we got here? Ooh, light beam.
Oh, that was a smart idea of Wyvern coming here before doing Jump Guardian loop. That light beam will be extremely helpful momentarily.
Absolutely. And with bombs and translator, this is definitely also helpful coming here to the energy controller. Get the hint and the pickup.
And we get to say hello to our great friend. I believe this is Aisha. No one really remembers these outside of O'Lear.
Where are missiles? Did we actually get a good look at Mining Plaza?
Oh, look at that. We actually get to hear the words of Aisha today.
Oh, not getting what they intended, though, because...
They didn't get the energy refill.
Yeah.
They might need to let that cutscene play out a little bit longer for it to trigger.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've actually done that cutscene, I don't know what is the trigger on that one.
Yeah, everyone usually skips it, except for O'Lear. You cannot skip O'Lear. And we're back at Bomb Guardian with Wordsayer. Maybe Wordsayer gets a two-cycle here. We'll find out.
Good setup. First round of it, good.
Oh, and it appears Lena was correcting us real quick. They were triggering the wrong cutscene, so Wyvern were scanning the wrong point, and as such, the wrong cutscene, so we didn't get the energy refill.
Gotcha.
All right, look at that. We got a two-cycle Bomb Guardian. And hello.
Dark beam inventory. Nice.
Well, we'll absolutely take that. Granted, we are still technically out of logic as we have no missile launcher. So I would assume missile launcher has to be somewhere either in the Jump Guardian loop, or possibly, since we found bombs, it could be on Hive Chamber B, or maybe communications area. But missile launcher has to come up extremely soon.
You're playing with with my heartstrings here. There we go. Alright. Both runners gonna find both beams here.
And having both light and dark beam before entering labs, this'll set up both runners spectacularly. I mean, light beam will help us with Jump Guardian. And, well, if we do find Spider Ball, although it's unlikely, we do have an easy exit point right through Vent Area A again.
Vern, you're not getting out of this one. That door locked.
I could be wrong, but I believe the trigger for this door lock and pirate fight is Bomb Guardian being defeated.
As I recall, that is correct.
Yeah, so personally, I like to say if you have the means to get to Dark Aegon, do that first, and then just save Aegon Temple and Bomb Guardian for last. But Portal Terminal tells us the missile launcher is exactly 4 rooms away from Temple Sanctuary. That can't be right. I had to have misread that hint because there's nothing that's exactly 4 rooms away from Temple Sanctuary with an item. Unless that was Temple Energy Controller, in which case it put it on Transport A access.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna have to read that one myself later, because right about now it looks like Wordsayer's going into labs.
It's a very interesting play. I mean, yes, we do have Space Jump, Dark Beam, and Bomb, so we can get almost all of it complete. But I'm not sure if going for labs right now would be the smartest play, since we still don't have a logical missile launcher. And yes, Transport A access would either be A, power bombs, B, space jump screw attack, or C, emerald locked to get the elevator. Not the elevator, the save station. But since we have space jump screw attack, that technically, if it is Transport A, that would put our missiles in logic. Henceforth, we'd be okay on our logic chain. But the good thing is, oh, Wordsayer, be careful, please. Oh, you don't want to fight those dark pirates. You're talking about Wyvern pulling your heartstrings there, Stavius. Wordsayer's having fun with dark pirates.
Alright, 4 rooms with Temple Grounds transport to Sank Fortress. Exactly
Nice.
4 from transport.
Okay, so transport to Sanctuary Fortress is the elevator. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts it on Transport B access, so those are free. And everyone say hello to Jump Guardian. Now say goodbye to Jump Guardian.
Jump Guardian.
Now say goodbye to Jump Guardian, as you're not going to see him again. Oh, hello, Dark Ammo.
This early we take it. Go from 50 to 70.
Absolutely. And thanks to us having Dark Suit, we don't have to worry about dangerous energy logic while rolling through here towards the Trial Tunnel. We'll be A-okay. Who put what on the broom closet? Oh, hello, Red Key. That's an Aegon key.
French vanilla. If I'm not mistaken, that's Aegon key 3 in there as vanilla, right?
I want to see either 3 or 1. I mean, usually you get bombs here. We have missiles, then the space jumps. That gets immediate access to broom closet. Unless you save that for last and go dive into labs first, then yeah, that would be 3. And we've got our first E-tank hiding on junction site.
Spider locked.
And thanks to us having Dark Beam, we're able to get in-cache 4 without isolating it.
E. A nice high five between the runners over here. Wordsayer coming here first. SoaringWyvern catching it on the way out.
Yeah, Wordsayer decided to go for the safe station first, while Wyvern made the pass through. Made the pass to get to Junk Guardian first.
What is that, Crossroads?
If we did, I didn't get to see it on Wordsayer, but we might get a peek of it on Wyvern's side. And Wordsayer is a little bit low on light ammo, down to 35, but thankfully he does have enough to make Jump Guardian skip possible. And granted, it's possible to just charge beam and missiles, but that takes too long. Alright, Crossroads. What's hiding up top? I want to say dark ammo, possibly.
Most likely it's purple and I couldn't tell.
Whatever it is, we probably don't need to come back here. So as far as forward progression, Wyvern has access to do a good majority of Temple Grounds. So the option is, do you A, go back to Temple Grounds and do GFMC loop? Or B, do you dive into the labs because you have a dark suit, both beams, and space jump?
That becomes the interesting question. Yeah, at this point with the suit, Pod W just becomes a glaring chance to hold something interesting. Yeah, nice.
Oh, hello. Well, I think it was main PBs.
Absolutely.
What are your...
This to me would be okay. No, even having Screw in hand already. Nah, this scream GFMC loop to me. Coming out of here, having Jump Guardian and Bomb Guardian defeated, so I'd have a return to Temple Grounds here, and I think I saw something interesting in Mining Plaza.
I agree. With that power bomb being so free, there's just so much that can be done in Temple Grounds, and it's not going to cost us too much time if it's a useless check. And plus, if due to power bombs, we could go for Spider's Treasure, but I mean, leaving Temple Grounds isolated, yeah, that's not a smart idea.
That said, Soaring is diving towards labs, so we could be seeing a different direction here.
Well, either one's good. You either clear labs out first, do Spider's Treasure, and then leave Temple Grounds for a save warp, or just flip it around. Wait until you're done with Temple Grounds, then come back, clear out labs, and use one of the elevators here to progress forward.
Ironically, isn't it Baja that usually tells runners to wait on GFMC? We're seeing this on Bash's side. Dive labs before GFMC.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's because we have both beams already. And we have so much open to us. You know, we can, outside of Incash 2, Dark Labs is basically a joke.
Not Telethern. Mining station. That's mining station access, right?
We're in Central Mining Station.
Central Mining Station, yep.
Mining Station access was before Mining Station A.
That's
right after Main Plaza.
Yep.
Oh, Oh, and Delta's making a good point. No one's checked Mineshaft yet over off the dark beam logic.
Not a good peak, especially when you got bombs, but it's the singular peak until you got Seekers or Seekers skip.
Oh, Seeker skip. I don't want to go into that. That's just, that trick can be fun sometimes.
I know there are some people that make it look easy as cake, but I can tell you right now, I've sat in front of the door in Mineshaft. I think I've got like 3 or 4 hours now, just sat there trying the bonk. Unlimited missiles on and everything with menu mod, and still just... I ain't got it yet. However, Wyvern must be hearing us out loud, because yep, they just peeked it. Find a missile expansion in Mineshaft itself.
It's interesting. We have a route difference here between BajaBlood and BashPrime. They're both possibly mentoring and saying different directions ahead. Wordsayers decide to go for the Hive Chamber loop with Dark Missile Trooper and HCB, while Wyvern's cleaning up more of Vagon Waste and possibly diving into labs backwards. And the Dark Missile Trooper had a light ammo expansion.
Sand Canyon.
Oh. That's another Aegon key, my friend.
Didn't we get a hint on that being missiles? So this is all kind of...
Yeah, we had a hint that missile launcher was in Great... We know missiles are in Great Temple. We know that for a fact.
I thought we'd seen a Worms hint not too long ago, saying it was a missile expansion.
Oh, the worm? Yes. A Morbus is confirmed defeated. We don't need to fight a Morbus, period. Oh, launcher was Temple... Oh, launcher was in Temple Grounds, not Great Temple. I misread which elevator it was. I really need to have these notes updated. But thankfully, Op82 is right on top of the tracking, so we can just refer to their document. Oh, and don't get stuck in the corner, Wyvern. Please be careful. Alright, so will coming to Spider's Treasure and Sanctuary Fortress be worth it? So far, absolutely not. We've got an E-Tank here in Hall of Combat Mastery, and who knows what's hiding in Culling Chamber and Hazen Cliff. Now, I keep saying Spider's Treasure. Well, Spider's Treasure is a collection of 3 items that we have here in this little Sanctuary Fortress loop off the Aegon elevator. Spider's Treasure refers to the combination of Hall of Combat Mastery, Culling Chamber, and Hazen Cliff. And it looks like Wyvern's setting themselves up to attempt, almost had it, to get Hall of Combat Mastery without the need of Spider Ball. And they get it second try for their second E-Tank. Oh.
Early on, it might be worth the time sink. Let's see.
Well, we're happy that we know Mining Plaza is not required because we know the location of all 3 Aegon keys. With another E-Tank off of Dynamo Chamber. Oh yeah, Wordsayer just picked up the second key to the Aegon Temple, all the way over in Storage Cavern B. And here's Missile Launcher. And Boost Ball on Culling Chamber. So in order to get Boost Ball, we need to have Spider Ball.
ETM on Ing Reliquary. No, legitimately, thank you, game. That's a horrible check.
It's a bad check, but hey, at least it told us what it was. And hey, look, there's Spider Ball.
Okay.
I heard you wanted that boost ball really bad, so we moved Spider Ball one room away from it.
That's.
What are you thinking, Steve? Your mind's racing from what it sounds like.
Well, this one says that dive is definitely the play over on Wyvern side, so it's unless top of GFMC ship is about to be something cool. I think Wordsayer's a bit drowned in the logic, so to speak. Because inevitably, logically, you had to come to Comair to get the main missiles, but not progression on Spider's treasure.
Yeah, we got a sunburst on top of the ship, though. And a missile expansion in the crate.
Yep.
So.
Who knows? My last day sync. We already saw what would have been there, but my last race, they put Spider on Grand Wind Chamber way. However you want.
Grand Wind Walk Chamber Hallway Sunburst Lock Room Temple Access. Yeah, that's what it's called. Don't try to say that.
Will never die.
No, I mean, with how Grand Wind Chamber is as a room and a puzzle, I mean, we're just gonna call it whatever we can think of.
Yeah. It looks like a missile on Wind Chamber.
Well, Wyvern decides to go for backwards labs, and we're about to find out that Storage D has a missile expansion on it with a cheeseburger on Windwalk Chamber Hallway.
Yep. Okay.
Alright, Dark Samus, terrible boss fight. Your first real challenge of playing Echoes. Oh, and the power bomb didn't hit fully. Oh, she moved out of the damage zone. But nice backup by Wyvern using a stun lock with a screw attack technique. So,
something tells me we'll see a repeat later in the race.
You know, I think you might have a point there. So, Dark Samus 1, main reactor. For some reason, Dark Samus takes extreme damage due to power bombs. So if you manage to get a power bomb into this fight, congratulations, you basically have an instant win condition.
Okay, nope.
No, that's the spider ball track. Oh, hello.
Support system in Dark Oasis.
Well, at least we know Dark Oasis is not required today, as that cannot logically be light suit.
Light suit required for the check. So yeah.
And with these settings, I strongly doubt light suit would be deleted.
These settings are Power Bomb Guardian. Is that
Power Bomb Guardian? That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, light suit can never be deleted. Okay, hey, you learn something new every day. All right, so let's go on and get progressing through this different route here. On the left, we got Wyvern moving through sand processing after annihilating Dark Samus 1, while Wordsayer has just entered Phazon grounds. And hello, what's that in the distance? That's a red
key.
Oh, that's a Torvis key.
Sonic Boom and Sand Processing, Dark Torvis Key 1 in Phazon ground.
All right, now be honest with me. Have you ever had a good use for Sonic Boom? Yes or no?
As much as I know that it's got incredible boss damage potential, and including Grapple Guardian, I've not really used it. So I stand here as one of those people that it's skippable It's skippable to me.
All right, I'll stand by that. Sonic Boom, I just don't see a use for. But on the flip side, though, you know, Dark Burst against Dark Samus 2 and Airy, oh, that does some really good damage.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Vanilla game, the Sonic Boom was always one of those, like, you feel the power type of launches. Because in the vanilla game, and we're talking not randomized, by the time you get Sonic Boom, you're late enough. You're facing Grapple Pirate, you're facing lots of crap. And so to just launch one of those and all of a sudden, yep, half the room is deleted. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of light suit from earlier, we
Let me
just
know.
found Wordsayer just found their light suit off of Transport A access.
Okay.
So it looks like doing that compound loop might pay off for Wordsayer. That allows them to do Feeding Pit without needing to backtrack. That gets Dark Aether logic. Not logic, but safely move through Dark Aether without any problems. I mean, if Feeding Pit has something, then that could be a game changer. And meanwhile, nothing on Bioenergy. It was just an E-Tank. Granted, we'll always take more E.
Delta making the correct statement. Yes, we are still logically expecting either Emerald or Dark Visor and Seekers for that light suit to be showing up.
But hey, well, it doesn't matter about logic. We'll totally take it for our...
Absolutely.
Now, we keep mentioning logic throughout this race. And hello, Annihilator Beam. How are you today? Well, I guess if you made a dangerous action and came here without Light Beam, you could get out. Alrighty, so what's hiding on Battleground? That's some sort of visor.
Not see that clearly. Was that Echo or was that Cobalt? Emerald.
Emerald. Oh, that puts the light suit into logic. What were you saying earlier about Emerald needing light suit?
Oh, light suit needing Emerald for the logical, because it was in the save station, so to logically escape based off save warping not being logical, you would need either the Emerald to get you through back into the temple, or you'd need Dark Visor Seekers to get out back down the elevator.
You know, good news for Wordsayer, because now with that Emerald being so free, their light suit, they can start following that light suit logic and hopefully come across their next major progression. And that puts all their light suit checks into proper order. So feeding pit can be done. FTA is open. Plane of Dark Worship can be done without a problem.
Once acquired, yep. Not to mention all the openness from Torvis, and 6 hints to go along with it.
This is interesting. I'm wondering if we're based on Wordsayer taking the portal. We're going to see a Torvis dive here? But Path of Eyes tells us the keys to Dark Aegon are in Aegon, Dark Aegon, and Temple Grounds. Alrighty. Well, looks like we're taking a dip into Torvis Bog. So we're just going to isolate Dark Labs. Wordsayer did get the information off of Meeting Grounds that Doomed Entry had Annihilator. So they know where Annihilator is. That sets them up good for Dark Labs to get in cache 2 and the entirety of pretty much all of Dark Aegon Labs without a problem.
E-Tank in cache 2.
We will always take more energy. But as we dive into Torvus Bog, granted we don't have no gravity boost, no boost ball, no spider ball, and there's a life support system on Poison Bog, but we know where both suits are, so we are not going to follow life support logic. At least not for the hints. But Marker's Mask making a great point. With the lack of supers, Torvus can be a little tricky to navigate.
Based off the scan profile, looks like a missile expansion down in the water.
And now we get to see if Wyvern's trek through the dark labs was worth it. As we come up to Incash 3 for Light Beam Room. And oh, hello, we got our first SDK.
Okay. Simultaneously not nice, because now we've got the flying pirate layer in mining station A, or no? Central mining? No. Add room names. Dear God.
Which room are you trying to think of?
The entry room for access to Aegon Temple.
Is it the big room where you saw the statue of the Chosen Warrior off of Sandcash?
The chair, yes.
Mining Station A.
Mining Station A. Okay, I had it right the first time. All right.
Yeah, the one with the spider track on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, MSA, you're right. All right, so Wyvern's taking a save warp, and thanks to Emerald, that'll allow them to go right into Transport A access for Light Suit, while Wordsayer continues through Torpus Bog, pulled off a great nice bomb space jump to get up to the cannon scan point early.
Some E off the tunnel, and I just missed that in Worker's Path. That's missile. Oh, super missile.
You're right, it is a missile. It's a super missile.
Oh, that paid off.
That was a great gamble by Wordsayer and BajaBlood, having supers right here in Torvus. And nonetheless, being in Upper Torvus where it's accessible. Oh, but the downside is, due to the lack of Emerald off of Battleground, Wordsayer cannot get into Underground Tunnel unless... Well, no, no. It wouldn't be wise, as even if we did the boost, we did Gate Skip and Forgotten Bridge, we we don't have Boost Ball to really lower the gate and make it worthwhile. We have to do Gate Skip twice. But due to supers, we're now entering the Torvus Temple. And where was Emerald? Emerald was on Battleground. And supers were in abandoned work site. Abandoned work site. Alrighty, well, we've met Aisha back in Aegon, so now let's say hello to Avok.
Hello, backpack.
That's a pretty good place to have a backpack.
Unfortunately, no emerald to gather the hint.
No, that's going to be a problem. If this hint is worthwhile, there's like no way for Wordsayer to reroute this hint into their chain. And because no emerald, he can't lower the translator elevator.
Nope, but we do have the check here in temple access for Torvis and energy tank. Getting real healthy over there.
I mean, light suit was at 5 tanks with a light suit. We're in pretty hip top shape.
Yeah.
Well, this begs a question. Because you found gravity boost, do you take the chance and dive lower Torvis?
Can't possibly believe that's not behind the Emerald Gate. Meanwhile, Wyvern side, Spider Ball on Hazing Cliff.
Great hint, game.
Thanks, game. Or, well, yeah, Wyvern is saying thanks, game.
Nope. Wyvern just took the light beam again. Yes, you can roll through it, but if you unmorph while you're in that light, the first frame of contact with that light, you're going to get teleported.
Looks like the Sank entrance play out of Wyvern.
It's smart. I mean, we have
We have
the
boost
necessary
components. Yep.
Yeah, boost ball, spider ball, power bombs. All right, Steve. If you had to put anything on Sank entrance, what would it be?
What's available that we don't know about?
We're still missing Dark Visor, Echo Visor, Cobalt, STKs. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I would think maximum pain. Maximum pain would be this turns into a Cobalt required seed, Cobalt on Sank entrance unhinted. But that's just me thinking maximum pain as I've learned to try and think about with this randomizer. But even just for a necessary check, just an STK over here would be enough to be distracting, to say the least.
All right, that makes sense. And it was interesting how Wyvern just rolled right into those phazon crates. That was a big old explosion of green on the HUD on the screen.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Wyvern has plenty of health to make it there and back, even while taking some unnecessary damage with the phazon.
Heading out the front door. Alright. Change of pace, I like it. Typically you see runners head through the light beam door to continue inwards on Sank entrance or Sank, but either way, you get to the load trigger on either side. It resets the room, gets this layer going, so you can actually pop the glass, pop the cannon, and complete the puzzle.
And speaking of complete, Wordsayers just found STK number 2 over in Portal Chamber Light off of Torvis. All right, we have the cannon. What is on Sank entrance? I want. Is that an E tank or what? It looked like an E tank. That's all I can say. It was definitely shiny.
Mhm.
Oh, we're still missing
But
secrets as well.
we're going for it, so I would hope this is a required item.
It's a missile.
Hmm.
That is the most required missile out of all of your expansions. And speaking of expansions, Wordsayer's taking a little bit of a detour here to get the ammo supply. Nice little recharge room.
Yep.
So we've done a majority of Dark Torvus and Light Torvus. Almost the entirety of Upper Dark and Light is complete. Granted, we have no Seekers, so Cache A is still locked. Poison Bog is locked. Let's see what else. If we go back to Light Torvus, the underground tunnel loop is still locked off to us unless we do gate skip. Although we'd have to do gate skip twice, or we do a save warp out. As far as Wyvern goes, looks like going for labs first paid off in the end by having Emerald. And finding all this useful information off of Sake Entrance and Sake Entrance, FTA. We're getting some light suit checks out of the way. And this will save us some late game backtracking if we need to.
Yep.
No, it hasn't done anything really good yet, bruh. But it does put that light suit into logic, technically. And the good thing is, once Wyvern does dive into Torvus for the first time, we can immediately get those emerald hints. And hey, who knows? They could be extremely useful. But first, we're checking the Grand Wind Walk Chamber hallway section. Oh, and I wonder if Wordsayer is going to go for STK hints by doing Seeker Skip. Well, Steve, you mentioned Seeker Skip before over in Mineshaft, how you had a fun time with it. With the Wordsayer attempting it, could you give us a little insight on what exactly Seeker Skip entails?
Okay, so you have, with the one upcoming, you've got one of two options. Option number one is the idea that the Seeker Missile doors are a series of 5 targets that need to be hit within a set timing window. Now those targets are susceptible to screw attack damage. So if you can line up a good missile shot and a good screw attack, you can manipulate the secret door itself and bust it open using screw attack. However, what we're about to see here from Wordsayer's side is going to be the out-of-bounds skip and just dodge the door entirely. So what's going to happen here is they're going to screw attack into the tunnel with a good screw attack cancel and pop out of bounds. And from there, just walk around the gate. Pop out inbound or pop inbounds on the other side of the door, where on the other side of that door it is a standard blue door. Pop it open, and that gets the game will set the flag as the idea of, since you opened it from the other side, the game thinks you've already popped the seeker lock, so therefore, yep, nope, we'll set the seeker flag off, And we'll go from there, and you don't have to worry about the secret lock again. That is, unless they don't progress out of the room, and more likely, or take a death warp and then reset everything to original settings. I derailed there at the end. I do apologize.
Oh, you're fine. No worries. It was a great explanation, and thank you so much for it. Because I don't really know anything about out of bounds. I've tried it,
There we
and
go.
I just fall down.
Well, as is the infamous phrase,
Yes, I.
every room is in a box.
Yeah, and
Uh,
every box has to have a bottom to it.
unless we're talking remastered, but that's its own villain.
Oh, I don't know what remaster did, but it just changed a lot. I mean, you compare Prime remastered, it's no longer a box; it's more like a glass sphere that was thrown on the ground.
But no, what Wordsayer's doing right now is they are manipulating the out of bounds physics. The room that the game thinks is loaded has physics. Uh,
Take a
uh,
breath.
yeah, essentially there's differences between the room that's loaded and the room that's not, and you can jump in one and not jump in the other. However, the jumps must be inputted within 3 frames of crossing the barrier, hence why you stand at the edge of the room. And then, okay, I think you got it. Just move forward into the door. One
It's
more,
easier
move into the
easier
door.
said than done.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Oh, movement's back though, so
now we gotta do a series of these Aether jumps. I mean, like you mentioned, moving in and out of the active room. We're trying to rise above the door so that we can fall down into the door. As going top to bottom is easier than going from low to high. And unfortunately, Wyvern's not finding much of anything on the Hive Chamber loop and taking another save warp, most likely using that to go through Transport C access to enter Torvus for the first time. As well, we've already done Aegon Labs. Oh, they're almost there. They got the right height.
I think they're no.
Oh no, they went right underneath it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this is a great example of how difficult out of bounds movement can be. I mean, the good. This is what I like about having the mentor and mentee tournament style. Yeah, with how difficult these tricks can be, especially out of bounds, seekerless seekers, wall crawling. It's difficult enough doing it by yourself, but having someone there in a voice chat guiding you along, maybe giving you a demonstration, it just helps ease the stress and the tension off your mind.
absolutely. Because right about now, as interesting as this is, and as much as it's okay, why go through all the trouble? This is a door
Oh,
blocking us from doing seek. Oh,
there
there
we
we
go.
go.
A great job,
Yep,
Wordsayer.
yep,
Fantastic work.
absolutely. But yeah, that trouble is worth it because that's the door that's right beyond this door. These are the STK hints that we need desperately.
And a
So
little
as much
side
time was spent right there, there's some worth into that trick right now.
and little side note, there was absolutely nothing on Hall of Honor Dead. All right, Steve, take it away. What do we have for SDKs today?
All right, so key number 3 in cache 1. Okay. P4 Dynamo works. Which one? P5 ATS. Alright. We got screw, that's kinda free. Mining Plaza. Alright, I knew that was coming. 7 is Under Temple. Which one? Dark Torvus Arena. Which
Which one?
Hive Gyro Chamber. Okay. And Dark Torvus Temple. We gotta require. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So we got a known required Chica, and we've got like 3 or 4 potential crazy ass. Oh, swear jar. My bad. We got 3 or 4 potential interesting
Oh,
Dynamo
oh
Chamber.
my.
So potential Spider Guardian,
Yes.
or if they can't pull off, even if it is on the tunnel, if they can't pull off the tunnel skip, Spider required. Under Temple, potential Power Bomb Guardian. Whether that's on the screw wall or that's on Power Bomb Guardian itself.
I'm a little confused on what Wyvern's doing here. They have all 3 beams. They have screw attack. I'm not sure why we're doing it out of bounds to bypass the super door.
Did they get supers? Wasn't supers in Torvus?
Yeah, but Wyvern hasn't been to Torvus yet. Soaring doesn't have super missiles. Only Wordsayer does. And
Wait,
so
which super door are we trying to skip here?
the super door between Key Portal and Path of Roots, or Hall of Eyes. Hall of Roots. Yeah, there's four names for these like 2 different rooms. I always get them backwards. But essentially, we're trying to bypass that first super door that blocks you from entering Torvus, which requires you to go to Dark World, go all the way around, take the gondola, then take the light portal.
I'm not sure with light beam and all, or correction, with light suit and all beams, the slope jump in the gondola room is not that hard.
No, and especially with us having light suit, we're not going to take any damage from Dark Aether at all. So,
I mean, to each their own. I'm not gonna.
oh,
and
infinite loop overflow error.
oh,
That's not good. When was Wyvern's last save?
yeah.
Please tell us that Wyvern saved recently.
Yeah, that red screen indicating that's a Randovania crash, so that's not even a hardware issue. That was Randovania. Kick in the bucket.
I'm not entirely sure why that happened. Possibly too many resources loaded at once.
I am not well versed in the back end of things. I know which. I got a general view of what to avoid, but that out of bounds, I'm so not used to anyways. I didn't even know if there was something.
And it looks like it's a consistent crash though, according to Bra. So it's a consistent error. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's got to be either too many resources or
I
mean,
okay. Huh. Okay, well, moving on. Let's go in and change gears back to Wordsayer for a moment. Looks like they're making some movement over in Dark Aegon, while Wyvern's last save was iconically Dark Aegon. And Wordsayer does not appear to have Light Suit. It looks like everything Wordsayer did, from taking the save warp after doing Dark Labs through the entirety of Temple Grounds, was lost.
Maybe that's
I want to say it's a good 8 to 10 minute loss.
has to be. I mean, fortunately, now you have knowledge of where not to go, but at the same time,
Right.
ouch.
On the bright side, we do have Annihilator, and we get Light Suit right away. So, because Wyvern has the information on what Temple Grounds has, it could just make a straight beeline for Torvus.
I
And
did not catch Warrior's Walk. Oh, no. Peeking. It looked like light ammo.
I agree.
Now, Wordsayer finally coming across Emerald here in Battleground.
Well, that's a good thing, because Wordsayer still has Underground Tunnel to do, and the entirety of Lower Torvus. So finding that emerald is going to help him out going back to Torvus, as well. We've got to do Under Temple. Although that begs the question, we haven't seen the information for where Chica keys are. So those could be practically anywhere. Oh, I just realized something evil.
Uh-oh.
I'm not, I'm going to say it only because I think it would be hilarious for us. We could have a Torvus key on Tumos. And it looks like I'm not the only one who agrees.
You are just aiming for a trash seed at this point. You want a 4-hour race here tonight, don't you?
I was aiming closer to 3 hours, but I mean, yeah, sort of. Please don't blame me. It's all Reed's fault. Look, have you seen what Reed has generated lately?
Well, wait, I thought Schwartz generated this one.
Yes, Shorts did generate this one, but go back and watch what Reed's created. It's some fun
I don't
times.
have to. He's been with me for my past 2 races. I know what's going on.
So you know firsthand how bad it can get.
He's not even genning it, just his presence, if you want to go down the meme. Reed, no love lost. Bro, awesome stuff. Glad to have you. But yes, between myself and Reed, just the presence together. Trash has been a word that's been thrown around a lot.
Yeah, Reed's a fantastic guy. He's been in this community longer than a lot of people. Almost one of the founders of it. He's been here around that long. But he does a great job with the organizing and the race hosting and whatnot.
Absolutely, he's been excellent and solid dude. Good hang.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to have met him. He's fantastic. And everyone in this community, don't get me wrong, everyone here is wonderful.
Rico, I have not gotten Reed as my mentor for Saturday.
No, but he might be generating your race.
I mean, that also said, because of the level of trash, I may be growing powers for when we leave Swiss and head into brackets. Which is why I kind of like the idea.
No comment. let's go ahead and divert back to your regularly scheduled programming, shall we?
Yes.
All right, so to catch everyone up, Wyvern has thankfully recovered from their recent crash and has entered Torvus Bog for the first time. Wordsayer, on the other hand, is going through Dark Aegon Labs. This is to get in cache 1. No,
2.
was it 2 or 1?
Annihilator
No.
Doors 2.
Oh, right. In cache 2 had Sonic Boom Room. In cache 1 has the STK. And little editor's note: Feeding Pit does not have anything useful. It's just an expansion.
That said, Wyvern's here with Emerald. We will see the hint for the first time here in this room.
Yeah, we'll see if this is useful. I'm really worried to see what temple hint is.
Grabbing orbit. Yep, we know that's on the energy controller. There's grapple. Screw lock and grapple. Inverse. Progressive.
I know for a fact there's like an underwater slope jump that can be done, but like gravity's required for it. I know I was going to see that STK here on Portal Terminal. While opening up the passageway between Forgotten Bridge and Torvus Lagoon.
Oh.
Yep.
Proceeding towards. Which bridge is this one? This is Forgotten Bridge, or is this Great
Forgotten Bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, Great Bridge is the one by Torvus Temple.
Yeah, Forgotten Bridge here.
It's Portal Chamber. Yes, I apologize, Delta. But give me a break here. Echo's names are eerily similar to each other a lot.
Delta. Well, actually, it's Portal Chamber Light.
Oh yeah, you gotta pull the light out there just to be fancy.
If we're actualing the actually, yeah, I'll play the meme. It's all for the meme. Delta, don't take it personally. It's all for the meme.
Oh, this is an interesting method I've yet to see. Using a screw attack bonk to get abandoned worksite.
Yep. You got the super or you got the bonk. You've got the I've blown Reed's mind with the slope jump into the lifter piston.
Oh, I love that.
He didn't know that was a thing until I just pulled it off one day. He's like, "What?"
Yeah, that's my favorite method of doing abandoned worksite.
But yeah, fun. That said, unless you're good with the skip, yeah, you got grapple. That one's just easy. Aim up and go.
Yeah, but in the defense, no one likes to use. I mean, I like to use grapple beam sometimes, but if you can skip grapple beam, you're gonna skip it.
True.
Although grapple beam is sort of fun in Sanctuary Temple.
Gotta have that swag. He needs grapple beam, not me. I got swag.
Ah, yeah, you have your swag while hiding this big old claw on your left arm. Can imagine that gets in the way of everything.
Alright, so Wyvern's gonna get their backpack here, and the hint.
Please don't be useful. Oh no, it was useful. Well, oh, that was pretty useful. Well, I mean, Wordsayer's got to do Under Temple regardless, so.
I was about to say, it's helpful before you have STK hints, but when you have Under Temple, As an STK, you're checking that inevitably, so it's
Yeah, that's
a hot
fair.
dog, but it's not a game-ending hot dog.
Oh, you want to speak of hot dog? You should have seen last CGC I tried. Hot dog to wave beam for over a half hour.
Your chat string in the Discord, I didn't even get the full story, and I already knew it was.
It was bad.
That said, Dark Dwarvis Key 3 in Underground Temple, so Captain, you are vilified if you're in the chat, but the hint is a joke hint. Money in the banana stand, yes.
Well, then it sounds like someone should go rob that banana stand.
Wyvern.
Yeah, Marker's Mask. We
Tiger.
don't discuss where those seekers were. that was a fun time.
Meanwhile, Wyvern making the way into Meditation Vista.
Is it useful? Yeah,
It is Cobalt.
Well, do we need it for any STKs though? Well, no, not really. But
Logically, by all definitions, yes, because of Dynamo Works.
yeah, I mean, logically, yeah. But we could, with what these runners have been doing, it's plausible they would have just gone for the out of bounds anyway to skip it. And not just because I forgot Dynamo Works had a Cobalt Tour. Yeah.
And not just that, but also the idea of should it be on Spider Guardian?
Okay, that's even mean. Because you can't do the tunnel skip to bypass it.
We were already trying to spawn trash on the
Okay. Okay, you know. You're not wrong, but I fear if we keep it up, Reed's going to remove our mini fridge. All right, so we're an hour and 16 minutes into this. I think it's time for the 1 hour breakdown. Now, let's go and take a look. Where are we? How much do we have? What can we get? What's left?
So at this point, Farage on Wordsayer's side, based off of having gone to get SDK hints. 2 SDKs in the whole in the bag plus hints at this point. At this point in time, has them with the knowledge advantage at this point. However, having not gone through, where did we find all of that? Was that Torvis or was that Sank? Or the ball? Yeah.
Sanctuary. Yeah.
Missing the Morphball upgrades that are so desperately needed, although they appear to be on the way to them.
Yeah, it could go either way, I'd say. You know, yes, Wyvern has done a good majority with the Emerald and Upper Torvis to get extremely useful information. They don't have STK knowledge, so they're going to have fun when it comes time for it. But other than that, they still have... No, they think they did Aegon Labs. They still got Sanctuary to go through. Meanwhile, yes, Wordsayer did miss Emerald Translator for Torvis hints. They very well could just go through Sanctuary after finding Spider Ball Boost Ball. That gets, what is it, Dynamo Works, ATS, followed by Hive Gyro Chamber. Well, we need Echo for Hive Gyro. So a good amount of cleanup could be done. And since, well, Torvis is open to Torvis Temple being done, maybe we see a statue skip for Lower Torvis and use that? Who knows? There's a good amount of routes here.
Gonna mention on either side, between both BashPrime and BajaBlood, don't put any tricks off the table. These two are perfectly capable of guiding our racers through plenty of tricks. So reverse, statue skip, yeah, no, that is something I'm pretty sure they're not afraid to show off and teach at this moment, so don't put that off the table.
Now, reverse statue skip, in my opinion, is one of the easiest tricks to try to learn if you're going for routing. Is it useful? Yes, if you have Upper Torvus unlocked. But I mean, it's all statue skip requires is holding spider ball at the right angle and then boosting. That's it. Boost and hold the control stick at a certain angle. Congratulations, you've gone over the statue. And oh, here's a fair point. Because mining plaza is required, looks like wordsayer is about to go fight a Morbus.
Ah.
And how about we get a little boss music to spice things up? And on the left with Wyvern, you see the same out of bounds that wordsayer did, using this to bypass the seeker requirement.
Yep. And perfect early frame pause. Already worm jam.
Yay, we all love a good worm jam.
So over on Wordsayer's side, we have the potential for what is known as worm skip. What's going to happen is this first phase of a Morbus, there is one worm to play with.
Oh,
Shoot
yay.
it to pop it, shoot the helmet off to get it to suck you in, drop a bomb, blow it up from the inside. Second phase, there's 2 worms. Key point here is if you can pop both worms fast enough after they attach themselves to that central ball, you can potentially skip the phase that has 3 worms and have another 2 worm phase.
I do want to point out, as chat's also mentioning, we don't have boost ball for wordsayer.
Oh.
Boost ball was found in Hazencliff. We haven't, or not Hazencliff, but Culling Chamber. We haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
We're gonna see 3 worms.
So potentially, we may have the laser light show.
Well, I mean,
How quick they are on the draw.
it is a Tuesday evening. It's only about 10:30 Eastern. So, having a light show to spice up the night, why not? While Wyvern takes a proper death, not a proper, but intended, that's the word I'm looking for. An intended death to go back to last save over in Torvus. And no laser light show. No light show today. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But hey, on the bright side, having a Morbus done already, this saves some time.
Absolutely.
And
on Wyvern's side, we are about to find out which portion of Arena has the STK. And it's the
It's the Guardian.
It's Guardian, yep.
Now, Wyvern only has 1 power bomb, so they got to get this drop exactly right. Now, Boost Guardian, what we'll attempt to do, we're going to lay a power bomb for a quick kill. Once Boost Guardian slashes and enters his puddle phase, if we power bomb at the right location, we'll get Boost Guardian down to 1 hit point. Or, in this case, instant death.
There it is, and thank you, Game, on Wordsayer's side for telling us that we have all the Aegon keys. Return them to the temple to use them after we've just used them and defeated the boss that those keys are involved with. And meanwhile, Wyvern is about to be in White the Pickle. Oh, no, wait, no, never mind, sorry.
Wyvern has boost ball.
Yep. They have boost ball, so no, that was just a didn't apply boost, or maybe controller was not liking them. Just saw him regularly roll across the blocks, and it's like, ooh, yeah, no boost right there is not fun.
And to answer a question that was posed earlier, so yes, we did get the hint that Amorbis itself had a missile expansion. The reason we had to fight Amorbis was due to Mining Plaza's layers. Mining Plaza has what I call two different layers, Layer 1 and Layer 2. When Amorbis is defeated and the Aegon energy is returned, that puts Mining Plaza into its post layer, in which Echo Points will spawn and Mining Plaza itself can open up. Unfortunately, we don't have Echo to actually get Mining Plaza properly. And even worse, BashPrime and Baja are both familiar with Mining Plaza skip, doing the SAU. So I wonder if A, they're going to hunt for Echo for a while, or B, maybe take a gamble and do the SAU itself.
I've got a question, because I've never actually... I know the game doesn't like you leaving an area with energy via normal means. I don't think Wordsayer returned the Aegon energy. Are they going to be able to get back into Aegon?
I don't want to give a confirmation as I've never personally tested it. Oh, okay, no, we do have confirmation. The energy lock is disabled with the Randomania program.
Okay, cool. 'Cause I remember
So
in base game, that's one of those weird memories from all the way back in 2004. I've seen the lock that gets put on the doors in base game when you don't return the energy. It's
right. But thankfully, Rico just confirmed that one of the senior members of the Randomania community, by utilizing Randomania's program, those door locks are just completely removed. There's no fear of getting locked out.
Gotcha. Okay, so now I'm...
Although that would be pretty funny if you had a one-way elevator with those door locks turned on. Let's say you make a mistake and you lock yourself out. Well, you better hope you have an elevator that leads somewhere to an Aegon room.
Yep.
We already have Portal Rando. Let's not think of door lock Rando.
Alright, so you're getting that first hint. And heading to the banana... What are you doing? Oh, you are going to go up to energy controller, aren't you?
It's interesting. Might as well go for the hints while you have the time.
Yep.
I
mean, at this point, they still haven't seen the hint, nor have they been to Under Temple, so therefore they'll get this hint. They'll say nice. They'll pop the elevator here, hopefully. Scan that on the way out, and then into the banana stand.
Yeah, well, the good thing about that as well, because we still don't have information on Spider or Boost, technically, I mean, we found no hint for it. It was just stumbled upon. It makes sense. Go get as many hints as you can and hope to get useful information.
Absolutely. With backpack in hand, Torvis is the most check dense. There's their dark visor hint. But no, Torvis has 6 of these hints. I believe it's 5 hints in Aegon, 5 hints in Sank, and 4? No, it's 5 in Temple Grounds as well, because it includes the Umos hint. So there's 5 there as well. But Torvis has 6, so it's the most dense as far as translator hints are concerned. Meanwhile, SoaringWyvern, we see some out of bounds, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll be doing this to bypass going back to light Torvis, and using this to dive from upper dark into lower Torvis. So we'll be loading Torvis Temple. You're loading Cache B. And we're going to use this to just dive all the way down to lower Torvis.
Speaking of which, just get that good old peak. That's probably just a missile expansion there in storage B, but also got some stream freeze with the timer frozen. Yep, we're back here. We got down. Well, we can see the little hints of they're in the right spot with the polygons. And forgive me, I'm not well versed in this skip either, so I know you're looking for something. I can see there's something on the screen, but what they're actually trying to hit the trigger of, sorry, don't know. Meanwhile, wordsayer picking up their Cobalt translator.
And slight change to a previous statement. So yes, we do have a spider ball hint that was found off of FTA. Unfortunately, wordsayer has not been to that location, so they don't have that relative knowledge.
Yes, because at the time they were in GFMC ship, they did not have Emerald to open the gate. They couldn't have popped FTA.
Nope, no, we could not. And Wyvern's still attempting to find the right angle that he needs to pop back inbound to go for lower Torvis. And the good thing, this skips us having to go all the way to lower Torvis and finding a dark portal down there.
It looks like they've got themselves situated well. They've got the room loaded. Now they just need to do the morph. Get in.
He's a little too high. He's almost there.
Yep, one more.
There we go.
We go.
Alrighty. So, who's ready for a Grapple Guardian fight? I mean, you might as well fight Grapple Guardian. We're still hunting for Seekers, so... Are Seekers required? Nah, well, let's look at our hints. And we're still hunting for Echo as well, so that would be nice to come across. So nothing really screaming that you need Seekers for, but they would be extremely nice to have. Alright, but Dark Visor required. Now it's time to go fight the Power Bomb Guardian.
Echo hint. Entrance defense hall. Up to 3 rooms away.
Something's telling me that's on Hive entrance. We know it's not Hive Gyro. It's not Quadrax. Well, wait, did we get a Quadraxis hint yet?
Haven't seen Quad to my knowledge.
Hold on, I'm grabbing a map. I got a map somewhere in this booth. One of these desk drawers has it.
If it's not Hive Gyro, I don't
Oh,
know.
right. Echo can't be Quad. You need Echo to actually defeat Quadraxis. Right. I remember. Okay, hold on. I've got them.
Items that are out that direction, because I'm assuming that's the link room to Hive entrance.
It is. Yeah, entrance defense hall is 1 away from Hive entrance. And just pulling out a map. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The only room that is up to 3 rooms away with an item on it is Hive entrance.
Which, since we have light suit, logically now makes sense.
So yeah, it's got to be Hive entrance Echo, which it's a pretty good location since Hive entrance. You can use that to route right into Hive gyro chamber.
I missed on Wordsayer's side. What was in TTS?
Light ammo.
Okay.
And we got a hint here out of Catacombs, which tells us a translator can be found on TAS. Thank you, game. And Dungeon has a beam related. We are not hunting for any more beam related upgrades today. We have all that we need.
Yep.
But Wordsayer's got some pretty good information in having that Echo hint. Granted, Wyvern will come across it eventually when they go back to Light Torvus, but Wordsayer has the advanced knowledge before entering Sanctuary. What's the hint here off a training chamber? Well, we got the hint for Cobalt, which we already acquired.
Wyvern. Vanilla. Climb.
Interesting. And it looks like we have a red key, which is an Inghive key. Thank you, game. So that put the STK on the screw attack wall. And yes, Delta, both runners still need the Torvus Temple key locations. At this point, it's got to be on a Cobalt hint. As thankfully with these settings, with Randomania, there is always a guaranteed hint for the Dark Temples and for the boss items.
Guaranteed hinted. You have your 3 major guardians for Morbus, Chica, and Quadraxis, and the second layer of Yumos, aka returning the Sanctuary energy, and then returning the
That's good to,
those will always be hinted.
which is always a great quality of life, because trying to check Tumos without having information, you're really down to some last location.
Oh yeah. Although in certain aspects, if you have the conditions right, it's semi-worth it based off of getting the light bridges to now take you to energy controllers everywhere.
That's fair. Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
you got a really early light suit and a really early quad. That at that point it's okay, nah. We could use these for sure.
Oh yeah, why waste time walking when you can just teleport?
Wordsayer entering under temple, finding that STK on the screw wall.
Yeah, and they're not even going to be bothered with fighting Powerbomb
Yeah.
Guardian. We're just going to leave.
You got the backpack, you get at a hydro chamber.
Yes, hydro chamber storage.
Storage.
And I believe. Oh, the main one. Yeah, was it main hydro chamber?
I do not remember off the top of my head. But
Oh,
making use
Oh.
of standable on the center pillar. Just deciding, nope, I'm out. Then using this portal to come into Under Temple access. Gain their Dark Visor.
and I'm realizing Wordsayer doesn't have Spider Ball to do Power Bomb Guardian, even if they wanted.
Oh,
That'd
yes,
be-
still has not gotten Spider Shredded.
Yeah, Chad is on point today with their catching. But I think it's a smart idea for Wordsayer, leaving Sanctuary till the very end. Granted, you're missing Boost Ball and Spider Ball, but so far they haven't been required. And by leaving Sanctuary for the very end, all we have to do is Dynamo Works, which will stumble across Spider Ball and Boost Ball for ATS. Under Temple, we already got that one. And then Hydro Chamber, which will route in. But here's the problem, though. We're still missing that last Dark Torvus key.
Yeah, more and more, it's a question of what Cobalt hint is that on at this point, because unless... I think the only hint we don't have that's not Cobalt is Mining Station B.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. We haven't gone back for Mining Station after well, we don't even have Seekers.
Yeah, we don't have Seekers. Nobody executed the Seeker skip, so...
Yeah, doing that just for Mining Station B, that's a bit rough.
Yeah. However, yeah, Wordsayer doing Grapple Guardian, get the scan going. Fun fact, if you don't scan Grapple Guardian, this hit point does not get locked onto, and therefore you will have one heck of a time actually defeating the boss.
Yeah, I remember having a random seed once where it started at Grapple Guardian, and well, I was the wise one who shuffled Scan Visor for fun.
Ew.
Yeah, I know it.
Ew.
I know it. It took forever. It took forever to get found. By the way, information has just come across that Echo is on Temple Assembly site. No, that's Tass. That's Tass. That's early. Wrong room. Wrong room. I'm smart. I should read before saying things.
Was Amber, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep, Amber was on Tass. Too many colors being thrown out today. But on the bright side, we get to see how Sunburst is effective against Grapple Guardian.
Yep. Ironic to me that they went with the shadings to call it Cobalt, Emerald, Amber, Crimson instead of going yellow, green, blue, red.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but with it being the world of Prime, being the world of Metroid, you gotta have fancy names for everything. Well, we're almost 2 hours in. Both runners have 3 SDKs. Granted, they each have 3 different SDKs from one another. Let's see, what keys do we have? Well, we know Wyvern has Portal Terminal, Incash 1, and Dark Torvus Arena. Nope, and Under Temple. So they're missing. What are they missing? Are they missing Incash 1 then?
Mail in the chat. We need Chica required STK.
Yeah, because somebody decided to put their key where it doesn't belong. And chat has been gracious enough to curse us today with a required Chica. So no, Wyvern's missing in Cache 1. That's the one that's getting the curveball. I mean, as far as routing goes, it's pretty difficult to say.
At this point, it's routing and hot dogs.
Yeah, but once Wyvern gets the information for Echo right here, off of hello, hey, you've got a Echo on Hive entrance. Well, you still got to route in Cache 1 off of Dark Aegon. You got to work your way through Dynamo Works, ATS, Mining Plaza, Hive Gyro Chamber, and Dark Torvus Temple. At this point, Chica might just be last altogether. As once you're done here in Torvus Bog cleanup, make your way to go to Sanctuary, do a ton of cleanup at Sank, get all your SDKs. Then you could route in. Well, you have the lower Torvus elevator from Sanctuary, or you could just use, well, let's say use the Aegon elevator. Just getting Cache 1 first, then do Torvus last.
Might be some logic, because also, let us not forget, they didn't RA it out, so there is a cannonball present in the seed. They could also want to hold off. Maybe you find cannonball before you do Chica, and make that fight go from a slog to, alright, little slog.
And I know we didn't mention it at the start, but Runner's Agreement's the only RAs that were on New Patcher.
Correct. So no, not gonna see any fancy schmancy things like multiplayer pickups, but as part of the original preset, Cannonball is shuffled, so that one is still a very potential item. And Wordsayer, I know where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I say with Wordsayer, since they've already done a majority of Lower Torvus, you have the Under Temple SDK. It's pretty much the same route. Although with their current SDKs, with Wordsayer having done Incash 1, that means they have Under Temple. We have did Wordsayer do Dark Torvus Arena yet? I don't believe so.
Arena, no, but I'll circle back. My comment was more based off of how are they trying to get through the backside of the room? Because they did the original screw attack trying to get to the platform. They bonged. But from there, with the grav boost, if you wanna, from entering the room from the standard way, the gate on the right side, so with boost or with grav, you can actually get enough height off of that one. You can jump off the fence, get to a screw attack point, and you can actually screw attack back to major upgrade, Great Temple, Transport A access. Thanks, game. But no, you can in my experience from the right-hand side, you can get a screw attack to get you back to the door straight away. No need for shenanigans. And no need for the spider crack.
Oh, important information has come to light. Over here on Wyvern's side, we found the last Torvis key.
That is good to see, and unfortunately, Wordsayer is going to see the same, and because they don't have Spider, they're going to have to leave this one for now.
Yeah, but also on the flip side, Wyvern only has 2 Torvis keys, while Wordsayer knows all 3.
True.
So Wyvern's going to have to make a backtrack here later to get that last key, to get another key. Or not backtrack here, but they'll need to come across that last key sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Wordsayer, as far as backtracking goes, with Spiderball and Hazencliff, it's not a terrible check. Yeah, it's only going to take you like what, 3 minutes to come back, if that.
So you're opting for tank map station.
And unfortunately, it's just a light ammo, as Wyvern's doing the same thing. It's pretty interesting how this race went. Both runners taking different routes, choosing different objectives to hit first. While in the end, they both took the same elevator from Lower Torvis to Sanctuary, and are going through Sanctuary at relatively the same time. The only difference is, Wyvern has Spider Ball and Boost Ball before doing this loop, while Wordsayer does not, due to Wyvern doing Spider's Treasure early when they first went to Aegon. So that could play a slight difference with these checks here, unless Wordslayer goes straight for Spider side.
I can only imagine on Wordsayer's side, they're probably sweating bullets over the idea of vanilla Spider Guardian.
Yeah, but what I like was you saw Wordsayer go for mini gyro chamber immediately, and then turn around to get Sank Map Station. That's another good reason for having this mentor-mentee style. Oh, and by the way, there's your Chica information. That Chica has STK.
It'd be useful if you hadn't already gone to get hints.
Where were Boost and Spider? Well, Jeff, they are right here.
That is Boost you just saw. And Cross Hazen Cliff. Wordsayer will learn your Spider to go get your Boost.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Delta on this one. I'd say it's pretty safe to assume that Wordsayer has a good sized advantage over Soaring.
Yeah, at this point, now that they've come here, gotten their morph ball upgrades, this appears to be so. They've got
And now both runners will be making their way towards Hive entrance. Wordsayer, please turn around. You do not have Echo Visor. There you go. You do not have Echo Visor. Do not pass go. Do not collect your next STK.
We're opting for an ammo refill.
I'm gonna double check our tracker information here. I just want to see where our keys are. Oh, that's where it is. Okay, Wyvern's gonna have a fun time. The last key Wyvern needs for Chica is all the way on Phazon grounds.
Ah, yes.
Wordsayer went to Temple grounds early, found their light suit, and in turn they did some Sky Temple checks. Or Sky Temple grounds checks. So that blind check of going right for Phazon grounds without having anything else open is going to really pay off in the long run.
Okay.
Oh, and Wyvern just went down. Make that they went for a double down. As long as you know not to go double down once again, we really want to cross this gap. Okay, we'd like to actually cross the gap, please. No, not into the light beam. Oh, we did have to enter the light beam. I thought we were going down again. Okay, nope, this time we went up. Up is what we want to do. Okay, we are going down all over the place today. And one more for just for good measure. All right, Steve, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on so far. We're coming up to the 2-hour mark. Both runners have just found their Echo Visor. But we've got a good difference here. While Wyvern did clear out a good majority of Torvus early, they still need to go find that last Torvus Temple key so they can go fight Chica. And sadly, because it's all the way on Phazon grounds, it's going to be a little bit of a detour to go get it. But for Wordsayer, having already done Phazon grounds and early Temple grounds, Sky Temple grounds cleanup, this is going to put him in a good position routing-wise. Alright, so we've got 6 keys left to find for both runners. The best option they can go for right now is go to Hive Gyro Chamber, get that STK. Then we can continue through Sanctuary, we can do Dynamo Works and ATS. Then we can go right for... then we have a choice. Either we do Mining Plaza or Dark Torvus Temple. Or we could do Mining Plaza first, then use the Crossroad elevator to go back to Torvus. That might be a smart play. As for Wyvern, as they still have to go back to Sky Temple grounds, so their routing's going to be a little bit different. Yeah, let's see. What would be best for Wyvern? Let's see. Well, after we do Hive Gyro Chamber... Now, Wyvern has not done a Morbus. No, not yet. Oh, and speaking of a Morbus, that's a great point, Marker's Mask. We're still missing an Aegon key. Oh, Steve, I don't like how this is looking. This is not a fun race.
No, this one's I don't know that we're at full trash, but
No, I wouldn't say that, but
we've definitely got a rotten banana peel or two.
yeah, that's fair. And even with that, I mean, I don't know, it is interesting. I mean, Seekers have basically been deleted. There's nothing we really have needed Seekers for outside of getting STK hints.
All fairness, the logic would still require them, but yeah, no, that's STK hints slash final bosses seem to be the only thing we're coming across that need the Seekers. Wyvern
Yeah.
going backwards from the quad fight. Do we have knowledge on quad?
I don't believe we have knowledge on Quadraxis itself. And no, I can't think of any hint that we had that showed it.
Okay, so thus far,
Although granted, we're not really missing any majors. I mean, yeah, we could hunt for Seekers, but both runners. So, oh, we did get a hint for Quad. Okay, I stand corrected. Quad has dark ammo on it.
okay, gotcha. Quad dead Tumos unknown. Tumos is the one that's
That's the one
potentially,
throwing it. And Hall of Combat Mastery again is picking information for STK number 1. While Wordsayer makes their way up to Upper Sanctuary. Can't get to Upper Sanctuary without going up. And Hive Dynamo has a missile related. Yep. And bad news, Dynamo Chamber's key is on Spider Guardian itself, not the tunnel.
Was that light ammo in the tunnel?
It was light ammo.
Okay, I caught a brief glimpse of it. I thought I saw. Okay.
Yep, we have light ammo in the tunnel. Spider Guardian itself is required for the key. And there's a high probability that the Hive Dynamo has the Seekers we've been missing this entire time.
Absolutely.
Oh, interesting puzzle combination here.
Okay. Now, for those unfamiliar, in the base game, there's a different pattern, but here with the new patcher, these puzzles are capable of being randomized. So, us looking at that puzzle and seeing that puzzle in front of our faces, yeah, looked a little interesting, but that is one of the randomized patterns that's available through Randovania New Patcher on this end.
And fun fact, although extremely rare, low probability, but there is a slight chance of this puzzle being fully complete when you activate it. I've never seen it personally happen, but there are videos and clips out there of it absolutely happening. Oh, and due to no seekers, we can't activate this little kinetic orb cannon and destroy the quad instantly.
Screw attack does make some sort of quick work out of that.
You ever get so angry at your robot companion that you decide to fire a super missile at it? Oh, that poor quad never had a chance.
Depends upon the robotic companion.
Well, I could say like a toaster or an oven, maybe an alarm clock.
Oh goodness, what is the game I'm trying to think of?
Oh, hey, there it is.
Dark Torvus Temple. Hint, Sank, Sky Temple Grounds. Yeah.
I don't know. When I said robot companion, I was immediately thinking of Cave Story.
Not familiar.
No? No, I'd recommend it. Cave Story's a good RPG sort of game. Alrighty, we're here in Spider Guardian. We're in the Dynamo Works. Now, there's only one true way we can defeat Spider Guardian, and we gotta use bombs. Oh, and Wyvern got hacked by a respite and decided to repay the respite with a screw attack.
Yeah, the community as a whole tends to have no quarter for resbits and therefore destruction by any means, even those considered cruel and unusual.
Well, I mean, it is a computer, so in the end, is it truly cruel to harm a computer in such manner when it hurts you?
No clue.
I don't know. I'm not robotics, so. Well, that
What?
I've never seen that method be done for it before. Okay.
Wyvern? All right. Okay.
So it appears
That's
Wyvern.
something to learn.
That'd be a lot easier than trying to jump backwards into it. Oh well, they just took a nasty fall. So what it appears, by standing on the spider track and doing a precise screw attack bonk, you can bonk up to the higher spider track to actually go into the morph ball bomb slot. I'm sorry, I've never seen that happen before.
Sorry.
And Wyvern treks across the aerial training site, coming across the 5th key to the Sky Temple. And fun little fact with ATS, you see Wyvern trying to scan something through the gate here. Well, for some reason, there's a very small piece of collision where there's just a gap between this box. The box is not a complete box. They left it partially open. So we're going to use that partially opened gap to scan the pedestal on the opposite side. And here we go. Have your key. Which thankfully prevents us from having to fight Caretaker Drone.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one because I don't have any wood near me, and I've heard of caretaker required seeds. Therefore, I ain't talking nothing.
Yes, there have been some caretaker required seeds. Thankfully, today is not one of them. And Spider Guardian has been defeated.
Alright, STK in hand. Popping them out of here.
Now-
Soaring, finding their way into Spider Guardian.
Now, would it be worth it getting Cannonball with the out of bounds since we don't have Seekers? What do you think, Steve? Would it be worth Wordsayer's time to get the out of bounds Cannonball method?
If they know it, if they've attempted it before, I would say yes, knowing we have a Chica inbound. However, knowing of my own personal struggles to get that one, and already 2 hours and 10 minutes into this seed, if you don't know it that well and you're not all that confident, I don't know that you pull that off. Just based off the idea that you may or may not bleed time trying to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're already in final cleanup. You don't know how close you don't know how close the other team is to finishing their game, and knowing that you're already you're over 2 hours in, they can't be too far behind you. Or you might be thinking you yourself are the one behind. So by putting all that,
some solace based off of, okay, no, Chica required. Now both runners are fully aware. Spider Guardian required. I mean, you've got some bosses that this, in your mind, you're already thinking this is a plus 2 hour, maybe even a 3 hour seed. So you may not be thinking you're that far behind, but even then, the pressure's on. So.
and fun little fact, he's over on the left side with Wyvern doing Spider Guardian. Hey, you see Wyvern using power bombs against Spider Guardian. Well, there's a good side and a bad side to that. The good side is we can actually do that thanks to Randomizer programming. The bad side, please don't ever use power bombs against Spider Guardian in your base hard copy of this game. For some reason, Spider Guardian can take damage by power bombs. The downside is Spider Guardian gets instantly vaporized and deleted, and you're locked in this fight forever. You need to save back to your last save station. Thankfully, with Randomizer's programming, power bombs forces Spider Guardian into its green phase, and we don't ruin this fight. I know it's a small little thing, but it makes Spider Guardian so much easier.
I am I'm a proud owner. I do still have, or well, no, not still have. I have reacquired a GameCube, and I do have a copy of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes for said GameCube. My 10-year-old has recently met up with Spider Guardian, and he's not a fan.
Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, Spider Guardian is not a fun boss fight at all. I mean, especially since you're fighting this boss entirely in Morph Ball. I can imagine the headache.
Oh yeah.
But that's why your young one has you to guide them along the way, Steve.
Absolutely.
No, I love the GameCube era. That was such a beautiful time for Nintendo.
Oh yeah. Fond memories from back in those days. Not afraid to admit it. I'm in my mid-30s. I was there for it.
Yeah, but I grew up with that era. But I will say, out of all the bosses that gave me trouble, Boost Guardian was by far the worst.
Oh no, yes. And Kara, yes. And I wound up showing some mercy on the 10-year-old. I helped. I took over once they ran out of E-tanks.
Yeah, that's why you're sitting in the back. You're sitting on the couch watching them play. You're holding the guide in your lap, helping them along the path, and then
Well, no, the kid earned it because I mean we're talking like for health bar status we're talking like minimal health left. There must have been about 200 or so HP left on there, but it's just the nature of boost Guardian enter that boost phase again, and just like no towers left, no gold drops left, and all the
it's
inlets spawning. I'm just like, nope, you don't
no,
deserve this torture. I will save you.
no, that's very kind of you. All right. Speaking of torture, thankfully we don't have that today here in Speed Gaming. Wordsayers just collected their last key to the fight Chica. Meanwhile, Wyvern has taken a save warp back to Great Temple, possibly using this to detour into Sky Temple grounds to get that last Chica key. Now they've got to be careful though because they don't have the information that it's on Phazon grounds. They know it's here in Sky Temple grounds, but well, what particular room? Well, that's to be determined.
Mm,
But thankfully, it looks like they're going right for Phazon grounds as their first one. So,
yeah.
while we're bringing up the GameCube, I will say F-Zero GX is still so underrated. Except, that game was difficult.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play it much. Good
It's
game.
fun. It's fun. It handles smoothly. It's just, oh geez, it's a little tight on the difficulty.
Gotcha.
Not to mention the extreme replay value, having to do the same track over and over again just to unlock the next one.
Just oh my goodness. Just got good childhood memories between the Metroid Prime games and then the Star Wars Rogue Squadron games on the GameCube.
Rogue Squadron was amazing.
Yeah, markers. I'm surprised. The digital output being on the original GameCube launch and then being deleted is one of those things of really. But also like growing up in that generation because that was instead of it being the 3 prongs, that was 5 prongs, right? And then you had to come across a TV that had that 5-prong setup. That was for the digital out. That was the one that always made me like no, the five prong.
And speaking of prongs, it looks like Wordsayer just picked off a great quick kill on Boost Guardian, first try on the power bomb.
Nice.
And now that Wyvern has their third key to the Dark Dwarves Temple, it's oh, and there we go. There's that last Aegon key. So Wyvern's in pretty good condition to get moving for bosses.
So both sides were still doing Aegon. Bird has defeated Morbus, but has not gone back to Mining Plaza and gotten the puzzle solved. Is that correct?
What puzzle?
No, quote unquote puzzle. Undoing the echo locks.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Wordslayer has. They still have the Aegon energy, but because of Morbus is defeated, they'll be set to just enter Mining Plaza. So yeah, once they enter Mining Plaza, they should be able to just release the Echo Locks and be all set. Unfortunately for Wyvern, they still have to defeat a Morbus itself.
Yep. Meanwhile, Wordsayer right here, the ammo stop. This seems like it's time for Chicken Nuggies Jam.
You know, I would love to have some chicken nuggets right now, but it's about 11:30 at night, at least here on the East Coast. So,
Oh, I'm with you.
although I mean, late night chicken nuggets right here, having a fantastic time with an Echoes race, it'd be pretty good. And speaking of Chica, say hello to the Chica larva. Oh wow, no, I'm realizing something. We don't have seekers to make Chica adult any faster. We gotta do it each individual wing.
Not the end of the world. Good health management. No, we got light suit too, so.
Yeah, I mean, health will be fine. It's just that having seekers turns it from a 4-phase fight into nearly double. Not to mention, we are those seekers could be in a very few number of places now.
Thinking back to all those key bearer hints. And which ones that missile related that could also be not seeker locked.
Yep, and the good thing, now that we're fighting Chica, once we scan Chica, that allows us to lock onto its weak point right in the abdomen. So thankfully, we can get some maximum damage output.
Yep.
While Wyvern's picked up the 7th key to the Sky Temple, both of them have 7. They both have to do Mining Plaza for key 8. And key number 9 is locked on somewhere.
Chica.
Right, Chica. Duh. We're saying you're fighting Chica. No, Chica doesn't have the key. No, it's got to be somewhere else. Alright, say hello to Chica Adult. Unfortunately, due to the lack of cannonball today, we're going to have to do this fight the long way. So we'll just spam fire Annihilator at it, wait for the stun, go around the back, and blow up each individual wing.
Also a personal torture from vanilla game. These grapple points never were spaced right for me back in the day.
Yeah, they could be pretty not nice. Especially when you're trying to avoid its attack.
Always just seemed to.
Oh, that's not good for Wordsayer. They are out of ammunition. They have to rely on manual aiming with the power beam. As now they're down to 25 light ammo. That light ammo's got to be reserved for Dark Chica. Although it might be wise to wait for Chica to fire her little chicklings at us.
Chicklings are inbound, so we got ammo. Hello.
That's a pretty good amount of ammo. And we got a double Guardian fight, a Morbus and Chica at the same time. Oop, Wyvern's attempting to get Worm Skip, as you previously talked about, but nope, I don't believe we got a successful Worm Skip.
15 played, so no, not a successful worm skip. We will see another 3 worms.
Well, props to Wyvern for at least giving it a shot.
Yep. No, I know if you don't have that timing down from when you escape the first mouth and have to boost over to the other one, yeah, it's a bit of a timing window. You gotta get it right.
Yeah,
Once you know the window.
Yeah, once you know the window, it's all set. Although I did learn this the hard way once. Don't do Worm Skip twice.
Yes, that other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, just how Spider Guardian can be deleted and you can't get out. Double Worm Skip deletes a Morbus and the item that he's holding. And Chica has been defeated. Now all Wordsayer has to do is take the Aegon elevator off a crossroad, go to Mining Plaza, and get that last key.
Brief stop by Aegon Energy Controller first. But
Yeah,
yes.
we gotta get that energy returned. Aisha's probably not too happy with this since we've been holding his energy for like an hour now.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the Torvus energy is not ever required.
I was about to say, is Aisha less happy about having us hold on to the energy for an hour? Or is A Cool not happy about never even touching the energy in the first place?
Oh, that's a hard question. I mean, I think Avok is a little disappointed that we never get to return their energy to them. We just go in there, say hi, take their item, and leave. While Aisha, we actually go back and actually talk to them a second time.
To answer markers in the chat, Chica escape with no dark visor. All depends upon how well you prepped it. If you know where the platforms are, because I don't believe they change. They're pretty static.
Yeah,
If you know
same.
where they are, it's just jump on them to where they always are. and then you can fire power beam shots to see them in real space. Those ones are kind of like Prime 1 with the X-ray platforms. Your power beam shots will identify them. Just a time sink if you don't have it memorized, but at the end of the day, not impossible, just time consuming until you know it for sure.
But thankfully, once you know where those platforms are, it really helps on cutting back the need to find Dark Visor sometimes.
Absolutely. But as a mandatory thing to bring up, yes, you need to. The logic here in this tournament's settings, the beginner logic, logically you would need Dark Visor to do the chick fight. So, logical need, however, yes. If you know where they are, they're not hard to spot, and you can power bomb shot them to either remember where they are or to actually just figure out the boundaries where everything is, set up your edges, and jump from one to the other.
Okay, I know I'm gonna sound harsh. I'm just being petty, but you just said power bomb shot, and now I'm
Oh,
imagining laying a power bomb on every single platform you go onto.
I walked into that one. Yes, power beam, lemon, fire lemons away.
Ah, yes, I'm having a hard time finding this extremely invisible platform. Let me throw a highly volatile explosive at it. That's sort of work. Or no, let me just throw this lemonade stand at it. We'll be okay.
Explosive lemonade.
Well,
Nice.
I mean, we're not technically wrong. I know we keep mentioning logic throughout the entirety of this race and the tournament. So, as far as logic goes, Randovania, when it generates a seed, it will have its own set list and order of the way to complete things. You're supposed to get item A first, then go to location, then get this item followed by that item. It has a ladder that it wants you to go through. So henceforth, when we say something's in logic, we're saying, okay, well, the game expects us to have this item already. We can get this next item within the ladder ring. Nope, and here goes that seekerless seeker attempt you were talking about earlier, Steve.
SoaringWyvern showing up that yes, screw attack does damage the nodes here. However, you do need to hit all 5 nodes within the time limit window, which I believe is somewhere around 2 seconds. So they're going to be shooting a missile at that lower left corner node and trying their best to get the screw attack to activate fast enough that they can hit the right side ones as the screw attack activates, and then through the arc of screw attack hit the ones up top. And that pause makes me believe Bash is offering them advice, talking them through it, doing good mentor things, and
yeah, I can imagine Bash having a either a video being shown, or maybe Bash is actually playing his own copy of Echoes right now to give a physical example. But the seekerless seeker skips there. Each seeker door has its own unique setup to it. And it's unfortunately it's as difficult as it looks.
Yeah. Now, with that said, some are easier than others. Some of them, the screw attack bonk is far better. And there we go on this side.
Uh,
However,
It's not done
oh,
yet.
we preface this by there's a secret door on the other side of this elevator. And from this side of the elevator, now we enter the real test.
Yeah, I would argue that the Torvus side of the secret door is at least double the pain. Just because instead of doing an arch, you've got to get it in like almost a near vertical line.
This side of the door I know is painful based off of you got to stand so far back and get your screw right from this far back in the hallway. It's the idea of your screw has to come from this far back and you got to launch it in there. The other side of this door, Seekerless, I heard is even more of a pain. I don't even know.
I can only imagine. But I mean, I would agree with it, just due to how small the space is on the opposite side of it. There's not much room to engage your screw attack.
Hmm.
But on the bright side, this room does have an out of bounds that you can wall crawl around. And we see Wyvern going for a double missile attempt, so using missiles to blow up in two. But we do see a question posed. How come we are returning the Aegon energy? Well, the reason we return the Aegon energy is due to Mining Plaza's item requirement. So when you saw Wyvern and Wordsayer, in order to get Mining Plaza's item, it has to be on its second layer. The only way to get Mining Plaza on its second layer is to A, have Amorbus defeated, and B, return the Aegon Energy's dark energy back to light controller. Once that energy's been successfully returned, it'll set an internal flag and say, okay, because this has been completed, this room is now on a different layer. And as such, it allows the Echo Locks to spawn and allows us to get the item without having to do a ridiculously hard out of bounds. But long story short, it's due to the item requirement. And Wyvern successfully got that Seekerless Seeker.
Yep, so Wyvern now making their way, attempting to get towards Forgotten Bridge, hit the portal, and then it's Shika time.
And speaking of time, we're coming up on 2 hours and 37 minutes. Wordsayer is just about to perform their last out of bounds of the run to bypass the final Seeker door. And to continue answering the question posed about returning energy, there's number one, for Torvus, we don't ever have to touch the energy. The only purpose is for story progression, which I find hilarious since Torvus doesn't really have much going on in it. Aegon for Mining Plaza. And surprisingly, we need the Sanctuary energy for Tumos to get Light Suit, which is interesting that the game only checks for the last one and not all three. And the last key Wyvern needs, sadly, they need to do the entire Chica fight. Oh, and Wordsayer has successfully gotten out of bounds. Now they've got the hard part, trying to go over to the door. We're just going to sit here in this peace and quiet, listening to the hum of the laser eye, as we wait in suspense to see if Wordsayer will actually clip back inbounds properly against the door.
Yep. And there we are.
Alrighty, as we come up to final bosses, a lot is about to happen in a very short amount of time. So it's best that we start explaining what we're about to come across before we actually reach it. Alrighty, so first thing on the list, we have Emperor Ring 1, 2, and 3.
Yep. So
Alright.
Ring 1 with our current loadout. Dreams, use the light beam to hit the tentacles, and supers to hit the eye. Maybe if you're well versed in sunburst and can get that slow moving projectile to actually land.
And we're going to take a safety save here, as I discovered yesterday that Emperor Ring 3 knows how to go out of bounds. There's
that was a shock to a lot of people, myself included, that I didn't know Emperor Ring was the one that could go out of bounds, because I've been yeeted to the ceiling a million times. Never once thought Emperor Ring would be the one to be like, oh, I'm up in the ceiling, I'm just gonna chill here and stay.
exactly the same feeling. Imagine you're on world record pace and that happens to you. Oh, that'd be so heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Emperor Ring 1, as you said. Do we go for the supers?
Looking like it. Now, if you get up close enough to the base, that laser beam can be avoided.
We got...
No, we're not getting a two-phase.
Oh, it was a good try. Now we throw the power bomb out, try to get all the tentacles at once, which we do. Great job. Alright, now even more supers. Oh! Very little amount of damage we got left. Oh, and we've got a 3-phase Emperor Ring 1.
At this point, this is...
I might as well...
Whatever ammo you got. I hope you're not stuck here.
Emperor Ring 1 is not being compliant today. There we go.
Yeah, and Emperor Ring 2, we've got 3 power bombs, so smart usage required.
We'll be using power bombs and or regular bombs to destroy these little culverts. Once all culverts are destroyed, it will be time for the true Emperor Ring. Oop, 2 more left.
Alright, so now we got screw going on.
Emperor Ring number 3.
Cancel the screw.
Yeah, so it appears...
With a hot debate, there is a potential for soft lock coming off that laser section, screw, and get the health down to 0 in the screw.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't happen today. Yeah, very clean Emperor Ring 3. Very clean. Yeah, so with Emperor Ring 3, it turns out during development there was meant to be an additional damage step with armor, and that armor could be damaged and destroyed by screw attack. For whatever reason, that armor phase was removed, but they left the hitbox in. So because that hitbox is still registered as active, we can still apply screw attack to said hitbox, and, well, we can just defeat Emperor Ring without even really touching him. Oh, now comes the hard part, Dark Samus 3 and 4. Now, Dark Samus 3 and 4. We'll be attempting what we call a Dark Samus 4 skip. We'll be firing a very specific number of Annihilator shots. I believe we're going with 25. We're going to go to just enough damage where Dark Samus prepares to enter her fourth and final stage. Once she crashes down, we'll be using a screw attack for some extra damage, and then attempting a stun lock. So here comes the screw attack. Do we get a good hit? Yeah, I'd say we got a good hit. Now we're going to try to prevent her from entering the center of the room, and sadly, that was not a good one. So what we were attempting to perform is by firing missiles at Dark Samus, it forces her to raise her defensive shield. Once that shield goes down, there's a few frame window for damage to be inputted. Rinse and repeat, and this fight is over. And unfortunately, we got centered today, so now we have to do this the long way. But with all being said, I'd say this was a fantastic race. Both runners had an amazing opportunity. They showed us their skills. A lot of fantastic tricks were performed. And they were neck and neck for well over an hour. Well, unfortunately, in the end, routing got the best. And due to that crash on Wyvern's side, they did lose a little bit of time. Not too much, so. But Wordsayer and BajaBlood had the better composition and routing. But not to put down Wyvern and BashPrime. They both were fantastic throughout today.
Absolutely.
But this fight is almost over. And as Chica Adult goes down, Wordsayer gets the final shot on Dark Samus 4. This race is over. GG's to both. And you know what? I do want to say, with how close Wyvern and BashPrime are to finishing, they have all 9 keys. I'd say they probably just go for the end and defeat final bosses. I mean, you're already this close, so why not? Well, with that being said, congratulations to Wordsayer and BajaBlood. Fantastic work from both of them. That brings I've got a note here. What is that? That brings Wordsayer up to two victories, 2 losses, while that brings SoaringWyvern down to 1 victory and 3 losses. And no, Avina, we never found Seekers today. Seekers are still missing. At this point, I mean, heck, might as well just throw them on Airy. I mean, you could throw them on Airy, you could put them on... where else could you throw Seekers today? Sentinel's Path. That would be a good location. No, yeah, you can. Yeah, because that's an Echo Door.
Hello.
With that being said, we welcome Wordsayer and Baja to the booth. Welcome. Congratulations on your first place victory today.
Thank you. Also my first on-stream victory. I had an async that I won, but it's the first one I actually got with the live race.
You both performed admirably today. The composition was there, the teamwork. It all worked out in the end.
Nice.
But there is one
close.
It was y'all were neck and neck for over an hour, and I will say,
wow.
Wordsayer, when you left Lower Torbus Tent or Sanctuary Vault side, you and Wyvern were pretty much high-fiving the entire time.
Okay. So what you're saying is they didn't check Spider's Treasure either.
Well, no, here's the thing. They did check Spider's Treasure early. They did that right after Aegon. But they just went and cleared so much other stuff that they never went back to Sanctuary.
Okay. Or never went back to Sancro Labs.
To Sank.
Oh, really?
Oh, where was the Echo Hint? I don't remember the Echo Hint being that hard to find. That was
it
really
was
the
in
only
Torvis,
extra
I
thing we
think.
needed.
Echo itself, I thought was on tip Tortoise Energy, wasn't it?
No, that was something else.
Oh, no, that was Dark Visor.
What was the
it was Lower Torvis. Hold on, Op was tracking today.
Yeah.
We've got information. We have information. Catacombs.
Catacombs. Yeah, that checks out. Because I remember now, it was the one where it's like it's up to 4 rooms away from something. It's like that's Hive entrance.
Seeker in Torvis or Plaza Access.
Torvis.
So close.
Wait.
Torvis Plaza Access had your Seekers.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, because we were kind of hoping that just like maybe Seekers is in a really stupid location, so like they're getting slowed down by having to do the out of bounds to get to Sky Temple grounds or whatever, and yeah, I mean I guess it worked out that way, but it was in a location they definitely could have checked. We couldn't because we didn't have boost until the end of the game.
Yeah. Y'all never went.
Who's gonna Randy checks?
Yeah, y'all never went for Spider's Treasure, which was surprising at the time, but it made sense.
I was about to, and I had 0 power bombs, and then Baja talked me out of it.
Baja, you steered him away from Spider and Boost Ball.
Yeah. Although, I will say, because we were kind of talking about this, like, trying to figure out if we were ahead or behind, it's like, we couldn't... Because, like, if you get Spider Ball and Boost there, you probably just go deeper into Sank, right?
Right.
So
right,
like
that would make sense.
That leaves us out of Torvis, out of getting supers. It leaves us out of getting Annihilator, because I think the hint was no, I forget where that hint was for Annihilator, but we went back for that to get Emerald. So like if you dive Sank there, you don't get Emerald, you don't get Annihilator, you don't get supers, at least not as early. So it's like it's one of those things where it's like it would be nice to have those early, but you make different decisions. So is it actually better? I don't know.
And that's hard to say, really. I mean, diving Sanctuary, yeah, you could have done a lot in there. Nothing really holding you back outside of that Annihilator, maybe for Sentinel's Bridge.
True.
Not for Sentinel's Path. But going into Torbus really paid off in the end. Finding supers in Torbus especially.
Yeah, definitely.
But on the flip side, we've got Wyvern fighting Emperor Ring number 1.
Yeah.
And we get the 1 cycle. Probably a little too slow for that 1 cycle.
Yeah.
No.
I'm really happy this was a close race, though.
It was. Y'all were so close for the entirety of it. But while you're here, Words, what are your comments on today's race? How do you feel it went?
I feel like it went pretty well. Again, there was the big thing of not getting Spider and Boost as early as we could have. I think this race kind of just solidifies in my brain that, like, I want to get Spider's Treasure almost every time I have the opportunity, because even if I don't get anything from it, I still get the information. Like, if I can access Hazing Cliff, that's a free item, and I can peek the other two with, like, no equipment at all. So, like, it's one of those... To me, the information, because I tend to play randomizers this way anyway, but just like information is almost more valuable than getting items, because like if you can peek something and rule out ever having to come back to there, that's as good as if you went in and found something. So like, even if you can't get all the items in an area, if you could peek all the items in an area, that's still worth a lot. But yeah, Spider's Treasure, it's good. Go for it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Knowledge can be key in these races, especially with Echoes having such an abundance of hints.
Yes, I love that about this game. Like, I don't know how much I would enjoy Echo's Randomizer if it didn't have a good hint system. It's just blind checking a whole bunch of stuff it's a lot in any game, but I feel like at least until you learn a lot of the tricks is kind of obtuse sometimes with how long it takes to get from one place to another.
Yeah.
Without knowing a lot of the stuff.
Leaving chicks behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of blind checking, pretty good payoff going to Phazon grounds as early as you did.
What was that? Was that a red key?
That was your one of your Torvis keys.
Okay, yeah. No, that was actually huge.
Were they later to that one?
Yeah, they Wyvern sort of left Phazon grounds for the absolute last.
Did we even get Torvis hints? I forget.
Yeah, we never actually found the Torvis key hint. We just stumbled into all three of them.
No, that was... Wait. Was it the Aegon key or the Torvis key we did that with? I forget. Hang on, I have screenshots. One second.
Yeah, as I recall, Aegon...
Key to Hive... we got the Aegon hints, but not the Torvis hints. Yeah, we just lucked out into finding them all. So what was that? Would that have been the Sank entrance hint then? Because I think we skipped.
Saw it.
I think we skipped Energy Controller and Sank entrance. I think we got all the other hints and FTA.
We might have skipped Watch Station too. I don't remember us getting that one.
Maybe. No, you're right. I skipped it. Because I didn't turn back. Yeah. Because I just went straight to killing Resbits.
Ah, yes, because everyone hates Resbits.
Everyone hates Resbits. Everyone.
Oh, Wyvern's got to be careful. We're running out. No E tank. We're down to 77 health.
Oh, that is terrifying. Oh boy.
Okay.
Please, Wyvern, don't end like this. Okay, we're good.
They got it. We're okay.
We're good. We're good. Everything is fine.
Nobody panic. Do not panic.
Okay.
We are okay.
Does Wyvern get centered? Also, can we talk about that instant center? That was sad.
Of course.
I was so proud of getting that screw attack and getting as much damage as I did, and then instant center.
I mean, it wasn't instant. You had about 3 seconds to make a decision.
Yeah. Oh, I was spamming missiles.
Yeah, it was basically instant. I mean. All right, here we go. Dark Samus 3 and 4.
Here we go.
There's the 25 Annihilator. There's the charge. Watch come crashing down.
Also, this was the first time I managed to get exactly 25 and 1 on the damage.
Yeah, you gotta spam pretty quick to get all the shots in.
Yeah.
Not really good damage
okay,
off
we got
on
a
the screw attack.
No damage.
Where'd she go? Where is she?
He's got Dark Visor, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful with the missile spam too, because if you just clock her with a missile, you can get centered.
Really?
If you well, actually, I think Wyvern didn't do quite the maximum amount of damage, so it might have been fine to have a missile hit.
Yeah, she's not in center range yet.
Yeah, so I'm assuming if too much damage is done, then
there it is.
it sets the cycle.
Exactly, yeah. Pretty much once their health bar gets past the second S in Dark Samus.
There's the center.
Oh.
Nice.
I thought we were seeing boss.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
We got to charge though.
You got to charge.
Let me just
Bash might be talking them through it, and they forgot to charge. Maybe.
No. You see,
That's
we're
what I
gonna
would
use we use the light that's inside the light suit to reflect the shots back at her instantaneously.
Yes. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, let's just stand here and do nothing. Let the light suit do its job.
Wow, this seems like good pellet RNG. Am I crazy?
Well, I think
if you're not locked on and you're looking up a decent amount, they'll home right in on you. Being locked on is kind of a trap in this fight.
No, I mean RNG in terms of how often she's shooting pellets. Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, this is actually a pretty good fight.
Oh, and away goes the super missile.
Yep.
Hope you didn't ask for a deposit back on it.
Definitely, kid growing up learning this fight, it took me a long time to learn the timing to actually hit that. Then I experimented with Dark Burst. Dark Burst is fun. Expensive, but fun.
Yeah. I mean, Dark Burst does a great amount of damage on Dark Samus 2 when you're doing Airy.
Oh, don't. Oh. Okay.
Just,
I'm like, don't shoot her right now.
To not heal her. You can shoot it now, though. It's fine as long as she's not like descending.
Yeah. Oh, rip.
Oh, this is just a fun time. One more shot should do it, though. No. Can we get the charge, please? There we
there
go.
it is. GG's.
Just over the 3-hour mark. Congratulations. All right, with that being said, folks, we're going to go ahead and send the little invites out. We'll be welcoming Wyvern and BashPrime in here momentarily. And with that being said, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, or inquiries they'd like to ask anyone in the booth today, please, this would be the opportunity to do so.
Hello.
And with that being said, we welcome Wyvern and BashPrime to the booth. Welcome. Congratulations, you two, for putting on a fantastic showcase today.
We did our best.
I think you did fantastic. Don't put yourself down. So, I guess the main thing to go off on today is how about those STKs?
Yeah, that was something. Having Chika and Amorvis required was not something I foresaw.
I definitely foresaw it because this is my 4th race, and I'm pretty sure in every single one I've had 2 forced bosses.
Oh, jeez.
Dear Lord.
That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah. We actually we were debating whether we needed the Aegon keys because we picked one up in Aegon, and we were like, do we need these? Like, well, I think we got a hint that Amorvis was a dead check, and then we're like, we did not peek the mining station.
Oh.
So I went back,
Yeah.
I routed back through there and was like, that's an SK.
Yeah.
It
I was
sorta
very
hurts.
fortunate that Baja spotted it for me because I forgot to peek it, and he's like, wait, was that an SDK?
I wonder what hurts more, that you have an SDK in Mining Plaza, or that Wyvern with BashPrime as your mentor, you get the BashPrime special handed to you on a silver platter.
Yeah, we were discussing how many times you guys were going to say the words BashPrime special.
I want to say maybe 5 times throughout the entirety of it.
Okay, I'm missing some lore. What is the BashPrime special?
Having a Sky Temple key in Mining Plaza.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Or really any progression in Mining Plaza, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty yucky.
Speaking of progression, no one found seeker missiles today.
Nope.
I decided they were optional at some point.
Yeah, same.
I can tell you they were not in a good location.
Well, they're going to be coming up here in a second on my...
Yeah.
See here. Sorry. No.
Well, that and Cannonball.
Cannonball was Vault. Yeah, I wasn't getting that.
Oh yeah, nope. I was in
Seeker
go
was
mode by
Plaza
then.
Access?
Torvis Plaza access, yeah.
Yep.
So
Now
the question,
I think we might have got that if we had not hot dogged Spider and Boost.
I'm annoyed because I stopped in front of that door. I was like, oh, I could go to Plaza. And I was like, well, we'll turn around. I turned around in front of that door. I could have had it. It didn't cost me too much time not having it.
No.
So I
Yeah,
guess
like-
I don't have to beat myself up.
Yeah, because for at least for our side of things, it was just like we got to Torvis and it was like, okay, we can just walk back, get STK hints. And then at that point, none of the STKs required seekers that we could see. So it was just kind of like seekers would be nice, but we don't need it until another major is locked by seekers. So just it was, yeah, we were not going out of our way to look for it.
It would have been nice for routing to Chaika, but we just used Screw Attack to seeker skip through there. Because I felt like that was slightly faster than doing like a warped start and then walking all the way.
Yeah. I think, what did we do? Yeah, because we didn't have... So, story for us is I got up to the Spider's Treasure door, realized I didn't have a power bomb, and then Baja talked me out of going.
oh,
And then we get to the end of the seed, see Boost Ball in Culling Chamber and Hazing Cliff with Spider. And we're like, well, we feel behind now. But
Yeah, we
because
did
of
that
that, we
super
hadn't
early.
done Arena yet with Boost Guardian and the STK. So we just routed back through Lower Torvis into Arena into Chica. So we didn't have to do any like seeker skips or anything.
I don't think I had to redo that because I did a dumb, and when I was escaping Hall of Honor dead, because we checked that in case it was vanilla, I fell down and didn't have super missiles to go the way I wanted to go. So I was like, we'll just go out of bounds and go around the super door. And my game crashed when I loaded
Oh, no.
the next room. So it was like, we lost like maybe a couple minutes because luckily I had saved just before. We only lost an Aegon key and light suit, but since we started in Temple, because we just saved warp back, light suits were right there in the save station. It wasn't too bad, but it was a feels bad moment for sure, seeing that red screen.
Yep.
Yeah, we were a little worried about. Steve and I were trying to figure out why the out of bounds, and then it all came together.
Yeah, we just wanted to get around the super door because we wanted to go that way to go to Torvis, and I was like, I don't want to walk the long way. I was like, I'm just going through the door.
Yeah.
But now I know, don't do that.
Yeah, don't go out of bounds there. Don't touch that door.
No touching.
All right, no.
No touchy.
All right, let's see what's on this notepad today. Nope, that's what I had on that notepad. Okay, great. Steve, you have anything on your side? If Steve's awake.
So it sounds like another divergence we had was whether or not to go into labs after getting Dark Beam. Because we did not do that.
Oh, we did, like, immediately.
Yeah. I think for us, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, we wanted to go into labs immediately. We actually turned around and went, where did we go, Bash? Right after we got Dark Beam?
Did the standard routing. I didn't feel it was worth it to go into labs because we were getting too ahead of logic and power bombs I was curious about.
Yeah, that's what we did. We went to jump Guardian and then we did labs.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I think
I wanted to go there immediately.
Yeah. Because I think we got Dark Beam, and then we might have done Jump Guardian, and then we just went Torvis. Yeah, we just jumped straight to Torvis after Jump Guardian, Loop, and Power Bombs. Yeah, and that was kind of unfortunate because we didn't have Emerald, but we only had to skip like one hint, and then we got Supers and Light Suit like immediately on that whole trip. So it ended up paying off and not punishing us too bad because it was just Annihilator and Emerald in labs. So we got to come back for those. We also, I think, skipped Sand Canyon because we were trying to be like, let's be smart and go through Warrior's Walk to get to labs instead of going through Sand Canyon or the normal way. Sand Canyon ended up being the last check and ended up being the key we were looking for. So that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, y'all pretty much fell right into your keys as you stumbled along.
Yep.
And the good thing is finding the Annihilator hint in Doomed Entry, so that gave you advanced knowledge for labs.
As soon as I found Sonic Boom, I knew Annihilator was somewhere close by.
Really? Does it normally do that? Or just a
like
gut feeling? Okay.
Like anytime I see a missile combo in Logic, it seems like the beam is right around the corner. I have a theory that they come into Logic at the same time, and playing it out hasn't really burned me yet.
I mean, well, this time Dark Burst was an ATS, so I don't know if that holds true there.
I never found Dark Burst, so
unless
to me it's true.
Unless Logic was to get Dark Beam, go into Spider's Treasure, get Spider and Boost, and then make your way over to ATS. Maybe?
Oof.
Oh, it sounds like a fun time.
But yeah, I've never paid attention to like beam combos in terms of Logic. I just assume like they don't matter because they kind of don't for progression, but who knows? Maybe there is a pattern there.
Well, you never know. I'm sure someone's going to look into it, see how the chain works with Randomania.
Yeah.
But that covers everything on my side of the notes. Steve, are you still with us, my friend? No, I don't think so. Okay.
It's late.
Yeah, it is. So
it's nap time.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right. So with that, I've only got two final questions on today's list before we wrap things up. Now, first question I'm going to direct to both of you, Wyvern and Word. Being mentees in this tournament setting, over the course of these few weeks, and how's your experience been so far? You know, with the different mentors you've worked with, the races itself. What have you learned? What have you not learned? But what has your general experience been?
It has been. Yeah, it has been fantastic. Yeah, like I've always loved this game. This was my first Metroid game ever. And like it's always had a special place in my heart, and I've always like this was the first randomizer I played as well. So like I know it kind of, but the big roadblock for me has always just been like to really do anything fast in terms of like finishing a randomizer in one day, you have to know like a lot of tricks and like understand a lot of the logic and stuff, and that's always been a bit of a barrier for me. Like I think maybe 4 months ago was when I finally learned how to BSJ and like figured out like, oh, this is why it actually works and this is how you actually do it and how you set it up. And even then I was kind of terrible at it. And just like having someone to walk you through a specific trick or the mechanic of something, because like there's a lot of little subtle things that you can just kind of miss if you don't really understand what's going on. It's like figuring it out yourself is really tough, but like having someone there and be like, oh, you just need to tap forward when you morph to keep your camera locked behind you, or you're pressing this button at the wrong time, you actually need to press it here, or out of bounds boxes are here and this is how they work and what they do. It's like all that stuff is like really hard to figure out and grasp on your own, but being able to run through a lot of these seeds and have people with you walking you through a lot of that stuff is really cool and really helpful. makes it a lot of, because the tricks are fun. It's just really hard to get into. It's really hard to find the break point of where do you start learning stuff. And I think this format has been really good for that.
Yeah, I agree. And like most of what you said, I was about to say the same thing. The only thing that I would add to that is that like, so like as you start learning tricks and like the places that you learn to do tricks, it's really cool to like, as you work with more and more people, they start showing you like, hey, that trick that you know, you can use that here too. And it's like, it's super awesome to just like have this like repertoire arsenal of like knowledge just keep increasing.
Alrighty, and with that, I'm gonna divert the questions a little bit. So, Baja, Bash, with both of you being mentors in this tournament, how's your experience been with either the different mentees or just the general tournament setting overall?
Let's go first, Bash.
I've actually been really comfortable with it. I found it to be a really chill time after getting over just sort of the self-doubt and like the uncertainty, since this is my first time being a mentor for any of these tournaments. Well, this is only the second one we've done for this community, but no, it's actually been a really fun time. It's been fun vicariously participating in the tournament and getting to experience a seed with another player and encouraging them and the routing and tricks and whatnot, and just I don't know, being a source of guidance. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot too. Yeah, it's rewarding and getting to show people stuff. Fun to meet people, just chill and laugh during the race when nonsense happens, and spread the hatred of GFMC across the Echoes community. Well, today we went there and didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, further
I mean, it
increase
was an
the hatred.
E-tank though, right? That's not bad. An early game E-tank, it wasn't bad. Come on.
Alrighty, so I guess with that being said, I'll throw this out there just for the end. Does anyone have any final words they'd like to say before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, just say thank you, Marion. Thank you, Steve, for doing the commentary tonight. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure being here, and thank you to all four of you for putting on an amazing show. I'm looking forward to what happens in the coming weeks and during the brackets. Now, anything else? No.
Yeah, it looks like we have 3 matches tomorrow at 2:30, 4, and 9:30 Eastern, all PM. So yeah, stay tuned for those.
Shoutouts to Baja vicariously still being my bracket demon, even in a proxy setting.
Alrighty, and with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us here tonight at SpeedGaming for the continuation of our mentor tournament. It's been a blast putting these events on for you today, and not only today, over the course of the last few weeks and all these events that we've had the pleasure of hosting. Without your continuous support, we wouldn't be where we are today as both a community and as a group of friends. So, with that being said, more events are to come. And if you're interested in joining us for any reason, our information has been found below with the SpeedGaming links posted. And you can follow any of the 2 runners, Wyvern or Wordsayer, or you can follow the mentors themselves if you'd like. And let's see, does that bot command work? Yes, it does. Information regarding the mentor tournament and the bracket can be found below. Schedule for SpeedGaming and our Discord if you'd like to become part of the Randomizer or the Metroid communities themselves. But with that being said, once again, we have no further races tonight, but we have 3 tomorrow, 2:30, 4 o'clock, and 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for all 3 of those. It's sure to be a busy night. But until then, remember to stay safe, have a wonderful time, and we'll see you next mission.
Bye.
See you, folks.
I'm BashPrime.